The following broadcast is intended for mature audiences. These are real people sharing very real, deeply personal experiences. This content may be considered triggering for others and for those who are sharing. The chat room is a privilege intended for discussions and sharing. You are not being asked to agree, but you are being asked to stay civil and refrain from personal attacks. Listener discretion is advised.
Garbage. everyone, and welcome back to Am I Mental, a weekly mental health podcast where real people share real stories of dealing with their mental health issues and advice for others who may be going through similar situations. I'm your host, Mexi. Today I get to play host because E is not feeling well and he has no voice, and we will miss him. But with me also is our co-host C.
Yes, hello, I'm here.
And today we have a returning guest for you. We have DeVerne, and we're going to explore his artwork and his thoughts and everything on his mental health and how he's been doing. If you've been with us for a while, DeVerne was on one of our earlier shows, and now he's back with an update. So say hello.
Is that me?
That's
yes.
Hello, everybody. It's me, DeVerne, here to talk about a lot of things. Let's see. I got a list right here: indecision, shyness, depressive, darkness of the world, who am I, autism. Read some stuff to you guys. Lack of confidence, overthinking, overwhelmed, all this crap that I am all the time. Don't really know.
Feel that.
Yeah.
I think these are issues that a lot of us deal with, honestly.
Oh yeah.
So, I'm ready to open up the show and just let you say what you're gonna say. So have at it.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
And so you were saying that I can read like lyrics that are not my own as long as I like say the band's name and whatever.
Yes. Just give credit to the artist and we should be okay.
I will, because Weird Scientists are my good, they're not, I don't know them, but they are my gospel basically. So
yeah, and I know you've shared several of their songs with me and I enjoy them. So
I have something pulled
I'm
up.
interested.
The title's just the podcast 2022, because what am I going to say? So I have something specifically written. I'm taking inspiration from that one guy that was on before, and he just like had all that stuff written out.
Yes.
So here we go. Basically, it all goes back to 1998. I was 6 years old, and you see, this is when it all started. I had bullies. Nearly every kid does. But a lot of people will, fight,
Mm-hmm.
I would run, fight or flight. And I chose flight every time. Even though I have always been tall, I'm 6'2" at this point, and probably stronger than I think, I would get scared and run, and that self-doubt runs deep because it's been going on since I was 6. And it all stems from mixed messages. You see, my dad is a rule follower to a T, and my mom is reactionary. And so I'm a wonderful, complicated mix of both of those things.
It's perfect, right? Perfect combination.
That's perfect. We thrive on complicated, don't we?
We definitely do if we write stuff at all. If we write poems, we definitely thrive on that shit. You can't be an artist if you're not fucking depressed. Okay, that's not true, but it's also true. That's just so because of that, you see, I was scared to get in trouble, myself. And so I'm also a rule follower. And when I'm not being a normal person, any autism thing or anything that makes me unique and weird, I'm very secretive about almost everything, except any woman that I will spill my everything to if they become like close to me relatively at all. I'm basically secretive about everything, and it's basically been deeply ingrained in me to be secretive about what makes me rare and different, and that flight response from any danger, real, coincidental, or imagined, is very strong. And you see, what's crazy is everybody's probably feeling like, oh God, that poor man. But I'm numb. It's not like I'm feeling all these dark thoughts all the time. I know how my brain works, because when I wasn't numb, that's how it's always worked that way. So I just feel, I know what's happening in my heart, but I can't, that little connector point that connects the feelings together got burnt up in my anxiety in 2014, so I don't really connect to it anymore, but I know it's there. Very complicated, only numb people can understand. So it's like I don't feel those disturbing, strong feelings, you see, but what does happen is the same thing. Same difference. I get controlled by fear of the what if and that nothing is getting done, and my indecision becomes stronger. And that's that.
I can understand that. It's like you're looking at the task before you and it seems daunting. So your immediate response is to say, oh, let's run away from this and put it off for a while, and maybe I'll get back to it later. I'll come back when I'm stronger and I'm better and I can do this.
And like if I was going to get beaten up, if I was going to get beaten up, I'd be like, I gotta take this, because if I do it, I'll be the one that gets in trouble, and I fight or flight. But I'd really first I'd try to get out of there. But if it happened, I'd probably just take it. I mean, I would try to fight, but I don't have confidence that I could win a fight because I've never had to actually be in one because I fly too much. So that just builds and builds and builds and builds. And so you just hide away in a little corner, especially with all of the shootings, all of the climate change, all of the political unrest, all of the every goddamn thing, all of the COVID. This world is falling apart in front of our eyes. And so I'm desperate to capture every little bit on camera because it's all falling apart in front of us. Before you know it, oh no, we can't have houses anymore. We're going to live in, these buildings or this and that. And then it's like, I had 28 years to document all of this crap and I didn't do it. And now it feels like everything is falling apart. I did have a We're Scientist song to describe what I kind of went through at first.
Okay.
The authors of this song are the members of We're Scientists, who are Keith Murray and Chris Kane. Keith Murray is the silver fox, and Chris Kane has black hair and a mustache.
Okay.
Their song is History Repeats, and I'm going to read it out to us.
Okay.
I got this whole thing figured out. I guess I better write it down now, because presently my memory's not terribly sound. Everything is twice around now. It shouldn't be this hard. I guess I'm not as smart as I'd like to think I am. And even though you won't admit it now, I know you know. I know you know. I guess it isn't any news. This keeps coming out in twos. If history repeats itself, then what can I do? Nothing I can say is news to you. It shouldn't be this hard. I guess I'm not as smart as I'd like to think I am. And even though you won't admit it, now I know, you know, I know, you know. Let's get this calendar straight. I shouldn't try to make sense of anything that goes on when it goes on again and again and again. It shouldn't be this hard. I guess I'm not as smart as I'd like to think I am. And even though you won't admit it, now I know, you know, I know, you know. Obviously, that goes on much longer. I just read through the whole damn thing quick. But that's the song. That basically, I don't know how they wrote a song about me without even knowing me before I even knew they existed. But they wrote my theme song, basically. That's me. There's really nothing else to say about that song except it described my self-doubt perfectly. That's me.
Life imitates art.
Fuck yeah, it does. C's got it
Definitely
on.
does. Definitely does. I swear that Tori Amos wrote songs about me, and I've never met the woman. She doesn't know I exist, but there are songs she sings that I could swear are about me.
Isn't that wild? That's the power of music. This is why I tell people, don't get stuck on, back in my day, it was the Beatles. No music could be better than that. Only the Beatles. I used to be one of those people, and that was the biggest mistake I made for most of my life. Open your eyes up to all of it, especially now, because music now is even more open to being dark as fuck and talking about everything. But ironically enough, it's funny I said that because I have another one, and it's the Beatles, Alone on Fool on the Hill, because that song sort of describes how I'm sort of this person that just I'm observant. I don't, like, I can see the downtown skyline and I'll take photographs of it and I'll think about all of the things that are happening there, all the secrets, all the crimes, all of the crazy stuff going on. There's what? Tell me.
Sorry, go on. I
Oh,
didn't mean to cut you off.
it's okay. What do you want to say? It's cool.
I was gonna say I do the same exact thing where I
Yes,
just think about everything that's going on, things that I don't know.
right.
It's fascinating.
Yes. It's like I could be a part of, I could be writing this story. I could be one of those legends in the night, but
Right.
I could be being loose with, I could be doing it with women. I could be doing anything, but I stand there taking pictures of the city and then, wow, that was great. Now it's time to go home, isn't it? It's like that. That's what I do. I'm the fool on the hill because as the Beatles would say, I have that foolish grin on my face. I keep perfectly still. I'm just, watching the sun going down, seeing the world spin around. That classic Beatles lyric. That's exactly me. Like I'm just, instead of trying to be a real person, I'm afraid of, I do get joy out of seeing things, but I'm so afraid of being alive or any possible chance for looking stupid or getting in a fight that it's easier to just observe what I see around me. I think maybe that's why a lot of people become artists it's that type. Obviously, an artist might cut their ear off because they're weird like that. They got problems and that's the only thing they can do. So that's kind of that, I'm just sort of just kind of, I remember that I would be always happiest waiting for the school bus when it was, daylight savings time and it was dark outside because no one could see me. I was invisible in plain sight, which that's an interesting thing because lately, I got my wish. I'm invisible in plain sight everywhere I go, but I'm wishing people would see me. But at the same time, I know I want both. I want both things. I want to be seen, but also not seen. And that's not something
Right.
you can't have that. That's not a real thing. You have to pick one. You have to either be a loner who's only going to keep getting fat on potato chips and die alone, even though there are women on different corners of the earth. They're like, he's amazing. They really are. There's a whole bunch of them. They think I'm great, and there's like one who's like, oh my god, and it's like, wow, that's amazing. But far away, money, all this great crap gets in the way. So it's same difference. I'm basically just probably gonna die alone because I can't look. I'm not. I envy. I don't like jockleets as I call them. Athletes because they can.
Mhm.
I don't like the way they treat women, but I'm also envious of the way they can just swing and bounce around however the hell they want.
The
Oh,
charisma.
I'm only envious of it because I wish I could at least, have that kind of charisma, not to use people, just to be open enough to exist.
Put yourself out there a bit more. Yeah. I totally get that.
Everything that's wrong with me happened when I was age 6. Exactly in 1998 is when everything happened. And I guess you could argue wrong versus just what happened. But I remember this. I remember I was on the computer and Google was involved. And you see, it was 1998, so Google was very 100% unregulated. And I typed in some words
No.
by mistake. And I saw things, and they might not even be the things you're expecting, but I'm not going to say what they are. I'm not going to say what it was, but I saw some things, and I've been dealing with that for my whole life. It's like, you become this, when that happens to you so early, by your own choice, by mistake, it's sort of a confusing thing. It's like if you expose yourself to pornography that early, obviously problems are going to come out of it. You become, because you get confused, you just get confused, like, and it's fine if people find this because I know I don't hide too much from the certain people. It's fine. It's like, and it was kinky pornography too. It was not normal. It's just like, you're trying to work through that through your head. It's like, is physical touch really my love language, or am I really just broken? It's like, who knows? I don't know. It's definitely, it's like on the kink side of it. I won't say what that is exactly, even though I wasn't shy about it on Twitter. dumbass. Talking to myself.
It's okay, bro. It's okay.
It's all right.
It's like, that's part of what I have to be secretive about because I want to be an artist, like Bexy alluded to. Bexy's my friend off podcast, so we talk all the time. She's one of those people that knows literally everything, whether she possibly doesn't want to or not. She knows all of it. And
I know all, and I do not judge. This is what I do.
That's wonderful. We're lucky. I'm lucky to have you as my friend. But you see, I'm trying to think of the right way to process this for the podcast here. It's just that I have this art that I want to make, and usually people that make art in a not terribly, but in a more deeply, sexual direction, they use pen names, especially that segment on Twitter. They're not using the real name. It's not like in the good old days when people were just making like artistic nudes, and it's like, who cares if you use your name? And it's like, but that's the complication. I've burnt my Twitter to the ground again. It's like the 15th time, by the way. That's a whole story. Maybe we'll get there if Bexy asks me the right way. She's got sometimes.
Maybe. Well, I do want to let you know that I did stop by your Instagram. I just saw those bluebird pictures, and I hope you don't mind that I took screenshots. I did not crop anything out. I didn't retouch anything or anything like that, but I dropped your photos in the art section of the Am I Mental Discord so that everybody could see it.
I was going to ask you.
He has got some amazing shots of some blue jays.
And I gotta look.
Beautiful.
And would you believe me if I told you that those were shot through the dining room window?
That's even more impressive.
I don't know how they came out as good as they did. I just really got lucky. Like I honestly got so lucky.
But you did it.
You say luck. I still say you're a great photographer.
Well,
you have freaking talent, man.
I don't remember if I had the focus on narrow focus, like in the center, or if it was like all like the whole screen. But what did get lucky is that the autofocus, whatever the focus was on, the autofocus ended up focusing on that one blue jay just enough, and that other one came in at just the right second. I didn't even notice. I'm like, oh wow.
But they're absolutely beautiful shots. And we've already got someone in the art exhibit Discord saying I love blue jays, so that's awesome.
That's wonderful.
Ooh.
Blue jays are free. Blue jays, bald eagles, obviously all they have to do is hunt for food and listen to their instincts. They don't have to have an Instagram or have a kink that they can't share to too many people, but they desperately need it solved.
Lucky fuckers.
Yeah, them lucky fuckers. All right. See, you're a vibe. You know that you're just a vibe. All right.
I'm glad I'm a vibe. That's so good to hear.
We should, yeah. I don't know where I was just going, but I was going somewhere and I lost it. It's okay.
It's all right. We tend to jump around. We do have a couple of comments.
Oh, what did you got?
When you were talking about music, Richard said my theme song is "I'm Blue Dabba Dee Dabba Die" by Eiffel 65, and Mai said music is May says music is the universal language, and sometimes one can find hope in the seemingly darkest of lyrics, which I agree with.
Oh yes,
that is very true. Oh, I do have some actual writings, those poems I usually give to Bexy. I have a whole bunch of those to read if you want them. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so it's like that whole porn thing and the whole art thing. It's like here's the mind fuck. I want to be a photographer in the normal humanity sense of taking pictures of landscapes and cityscapes in my own way, and I want to do the stuff that makes money, which is like pet photography or weddings and all that crap. Maybe events if I'm lucky. I want to have that normal route that I'm actually happy with and want to do, and have that tied to my name. And it requires people to not think you're weird in order to be successful in. Well, at the same time, I want to be one of those really weird, influential artists who does normal things, does disturbing things, but is 100% themselves, And it's like, but those are two very different paths, but they're very much both me, and they both need to exist together. But what's happened was I had an art Twitter where I posted some of those things before, and people, there was a group that formed around it, and they're like, oh, that's cool, and they were fine with me. And then one moment they all kind of turned their back on me because somebody who was part of that group saw my pictures in the first place, suddenly decided to claim that their trauma was affected by it. It's like, I was thinking, it's like, listen, I'm sorry you got that, but that's not my art isn't responsible for that. And that's a complicated thing, but as an artist,
Right.
you have to defend it. But by doing that, I lost that whole, and this was on a DM, but that caused me to lose that whole group. And so I left that Twitter. And ever since that moment, it doesn't matter if it's a normal piece of art or the freakiest thing I could imagine. I just can't do it. It's gone. I don't want them to win, but they took that power. And as it is, I'm taking that power from myself because I want two different paths. They can work together. If I didn't have any weird stuff that I wanted to make that was, kinky and all that stuff, then it wouldn't matter. I could have them both. And I wouldn't even be thinking about this, but I know I need to be both sides of myself. But one side of myself, even though it's freedom of expression, all that good stuff, would make me unemployable in some sense, because people would just, it's like I don't want to have a pen name. I want everything attached to myself. That's why all of Twitters fall apart, is because I'm every part of myself. And then at some point I wake up and I'm like, shut up, stupid. And it's too deep in at that point. I can't just delete all those tweets, or I can't delete all the retweets and all that stuff. And it's like I build up relationships with interesting people or people on those sides, and then they all fall apart, not because they actually fall apart, but because I have to delete the whole thing, because I'm like, I can't be found out for being who I am, who I need to be. And so that's a difficult thing. It kind of comes to the indecision thing, but it's more of like kind of the who am I thing, because it's like, well, who am I? Because I'm a photographer. I'm also an artist, but how do originally I wanted to blend this sounds like a meeting, like with some board of directors, but like originally I wanted to tie the two things together, but I realized that that's not how the internet works. You have to be separate. You have to separate your soul into divisions. And, these places only have so many accounts. And I'm sitting here thinking, our souls are not meant to be divided into, specific little corners of the internet into, here's my puppy dogs, or here's my trains, or here's my birds, just to grow likes. They're supposed to be together, the whole thing together, and you take it or leave it, or you look over certain things, or you don't judge. But that's not how anything is. And so my mind overwhelms itself to the point where I can't even be myself privately anymore. And that's the big problem. That's the biggest problem of all of it. And I can't figure out how to get past it, because I go to everybody for the answers. I go to Bexy for the answers. I go to my soul sister in Sweden, Jennifer. I go to Irene. I go to my dad. I go to Jordan in Texas. I go to everybody for the answers, and they all give me their own version of it. Mostly it's to be myself. Dad's thing is, you need to be employable, before you do some of that. And I run to everybody else for every little answer instead of deciding for myself what I'm going to do, no matter what it is.
We can all, you can ask everybody that and we can all give you a version of what we think about your situation and things like that, but ultimately it is up to you. And when you have those issues and which I understand, because I get indecisive like that too, and I question myself and I overthink and I stress myself out to the point where I'm like, oh my God, this is giving me so much anxiety, because and you just have to take a step back and kind of take a deep breath and calm yourself and try to be rational, but it doesn't always work.
Well, you see, Bexy, if it's up to me, I didn't mean to cut you off. I thought you were.
No, it's fine. Go ahead, finish your thought.
You see, when it comes to me, it's like, if it's up to me and my decisiveness at the rate it is, I'll just die inside and no one will be watching.
Yeah, that's
Correct.
something that I don't want to see happen to you, because I see all the potential that you have. Your art, your writing, your photography. I mean, you just have so many talents.
I want to run in all those directions and reach their full potential together to tell me, to the world, that, because half the time I can't get a word in edgewise with anybody, or I can start a conversation. I won't even get to finish it or be in the middle of it because it'll get overtaken. And it's just like, the world needs to see everything that is me, but a lot of it, the world is not going to want to see. And Bexley, I know you know what I'm talking about. I'm just not going to say it. But it's like, what? It's like, and that's why I have to run to people, because I need to know. I don't know what I'm looking for from people, because, you and all my friends basically tell me the same thing. I just need to be myself. And my dad, who, typical dad thing to say, trying to look out for me, says I need to be employable. And those are both very, very true statements. And those true statements come together and they build a mountain, because they're both right, but neither one of them actually together. Separately, you have to pick one. You can't do both, but it needs to be a mix of both. And I can't figure out how to do that. It's like, am I just overthinking it? And if I really just do this, there'll be a job that will be like, it's okay. We know you make really disturbing stuff. You can for sure, you can work in our photography thing. It's okay. Or is it like, no, sorry, man, you should never posted that.
No, well,
Appreciate the last one.
we do have a couple of comments here.
Yeah.
Richard says you could take on a secret identity until you get a better fan base. And May says, that's true, Richard. Create a pseudonym to share your art until that art can give you financial independence from needing to be employable.
You see, that's the logical thing, and that's probably what I need to do. It's just to get this weird thing, and I'm not saying that they're wrong, because they're right. They're absolutely right, and that's kind of what my dad was saying too. It's just, I don't, because if the art does what I really want it to do, which is to show people that women are, still ladylike no matter what they do in the bathroom. Okay, I've kind of came clean. I'm sorry, but it's like
it's okay, bro.
It's like I want people to see that, because I'm sick and tired of women just being humiliated or brought to their their lives feeling like they're ruined in moments like that. It's like that can't be what we do. We just can't keep doing that. The problem is it's hard to to show that in any possible way that's not misconstrued. And so that's where we're at. And it's like, it shouldn't be such a big thing on any side. Like, half the stuff that's taboo, no matter what it is, shouldn't be taboo. It should just be, let's just talk about it. This is just what life is. But humans have to overcomplicate things and separate everything into places. And they can't find, no matter how much they preach the gray area, they can't find it. I probably can't find it either, because there's probably a gray area that I'm looking for too. That's all I'm complaining about, is that I can't find that, because that's what humans do. We can't find the gray area. And so it's just, all that just racks around in my brain. It's just like, man, maybe I should just, I typically drink soda and, eat stuff to sort of numb that feeling. It's probably better than alcohol, but it's still giving me a pot belly, so to speak. It's
I do the same thing, but with Pepsi. So I totally get the trying to numb your pain with soda.
Yes, all the thoughts get numbed really quick. I'm glad I'm not the only one that does that.
I also use weed to do that too, but I learned that weed kind of makes me overthink things. It makes me like get into real deep thought, and it's like, God damn, like, why did I have to think of this? Why can't I think of this when I'm sober?
I don't need, I don't need weed, because I already think deep thoughts. And it's just like,
so do I, but they just kind of get deeper once I smoke.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm gonna have to find out. See, I'm gonna have to find out what it's like. I'm just gonna have to find out. I'm gonna have to find out what it's like, Mike. I do, after this whole theme of like who I am and all this bull crap kind of caused me to write something, and it's a little perhaps darker than what I actually feel, but that's always true because I'm numb. So it's probably how dark I might feel if I wasn't numb. I don't know anymore, but I'll read it if you guys want me to read it.
Oh, definitely.
Well,
I'd love to hear it.
honestly, I only want you to read it if you feel comfortable reading it.
Oh, I
Yeah.
want to read it. I want to read it. It's not. It doesn't share anything more than I would share anyway. Apparently,
Okay.
I mean, it doesn't
That's
have.
fine then.
It doesn't have any of that in there. Thank God. Let's read it. It's called Who I Am. It's technically Who I Am Too because I reconfigured it, but it's Who I Am. Literally, what I wrote. Yeah, this should be perfect. I'm strangling my soul because it's not a persona. I spend all my free time wishing to be free. I run to everyone for the answers to the questions that I can only answer for myself. My mental health is eating and sleeping just to drown it all out. Exactly when will I have the guts to just defend myself? No one can exactly see what this is all about. Please, somebody, just tell me who I am. I give up. And now he's standing on the pile of the ash of who he was. He was too complex, too perverted, too unique, too loving, too rare to get likes. He wanted to be employable, welcome on the streets, so he burnt to the ground. Please tell me who he was. Please tell me who he was. Please tell me who he was. So please, tell me who he was. He couldn't hide himself, yet he's hiding now in the ashes. That is that. Pretty much
That
describes
was
it.
really good.
Thank you.
Yes, that was amazing.
That's literally everything I'm feeling right now. It's just like, fuck.
I'd say it's very well articulated. Like you really, were able to get it out.
Like I am so self-aware of everything, and that's the worst part. Like I'm completely self-aware of everything, but I can't seem to do a thing about it. I'm trapped in my own body. Not the trans thing. I don't want to make that joke. Just I literally am just trapped in myself because I don't know how to be me.
I think that happens to a lot of people when you get hung up on what everybody expects you to be, and I think, and with you, I think you take a different side of that because you get hung up on who you expect yourself to be.
Yeah.
And you expect yourself to, do all of these great things, which you are totally capable of.
Exactly.
With your art and everything. You just, you get too in your head sometimes.
I need to know that the world will accept it for what it is, because in this day and age, you can't just be an artist and do whatever you want because social media and because it's not, the 1800s. So I'm sort of like trapped in that whole thing. Like, even though I don't want to play to the gallery for a thing, some of my stuff naturally would, just because I like some of the same things everybody likes. It's just that I can't figure out. For me, I have to have security, even though as a creative person, that's the last thing that you should want or expect, because that's not how you do it. But that's exactly what I need to know that I can put my stuff somewhere. And that's the problem.
Right.
And I know I'm going around in circles. It's just, and I've been doing it for a while, but that's just not before this podcast, just for like the last couple of years. It's just like, if I can't even just draw something for myself, for my own secrecy, how in the heck am I ever going to get anywhere, man? I just don't know. And it's like, I watched the Beatles documentary, Get Back on Disney Plus, and watching their process. They were in the prime of their careers, and they were so messy. Every bit of the process was messy. It wasn't perfect. You would think, based on all of the stuff they've done, that, they just banged that out. They were perfect. They knew what they were doing. It was a mess, but they did it, and they were still technically happy doing it. So I know it's not supposed to be this perfect little, look, I put the brush here, I put the pencil here, and it just happened. It all just dripped out, just like Bob Ross. No, it's not like that.
Yeah, exactly.
But that doesn't. What? Tell me. Say it.
I was going to say, I wish it was like that because it would make things so much easier.
Yes. Yes. There's so much stuff in our heads, I know, that we want to pop out, but it just can't because we've been taught by perfection, because every social media artist just posts the best stuff or post the process to, like, they start when they're really good. They don't start when they're like, I'm just learning to draw. I'm 5 years old and this sucks.
Exactly. You see the best of it and then you compare yourself to them. Be like, why can't I be like them? Why can't my style be like that? Why can't I draw like them?
Right.
And that's just that's not the best mindset to put yourself in, because it is a negative feedback loop that continuously just kind of feeds itself.
Like,
Exactly.
I want to follow all these artists on Instagram, but I've been actively, as they pop up on my feed, unfollowing them, because it's like, you painted cars on a road? God damn it, that's my thing. No one paints cars on a road. I was going to do that. And so it's like, I need to, like, I'm unfollowing them because that's cancer. It's like, I can't. I need to just realize that we can all do it. Your stuff is instinctively not going to look like theirs. It's fine. But
yeah, it's like, I love to write poetry.
sure.
I do not compare myself to other poets because my style is mine and theirs is theirs.
Right.
And
Exactly.
I can't get hung up in that.
Well, consider yourself lucky, because I got fucking hung up.
Well, it happens sometimes, I admit.
I got hung up, but I can't slam the damn phone down. Oh shit. I just don't know. Like, I know the only way that this can be resolved is it has to come from me. Like, I have to have what all these, happy little quotes that you see in the therapist's office say, like, hang in there and, be yourself. But it's like those things, like I actively, like, that stereotype where people say, but I know that wasn't talking about me. Happens. I used to be above all that, but it's happening to me now too. I'll see, like, Andy J. Pizza, his podcast, The Creative Pep Talk, he talks about how to be a better artist and how to inspire yourself. And he'll say some things and I'll say, yeah, you're saying that to just do what you feel and to not run from yourself, but you're not talking to me, because if you knew, you would not want me to do it. So you're not talking to me, man. So it's like that. Yep. It's just like that. I wish I had more to say about it. I have other writings, if you want them. I like to read.
Oh, as long as you're comfortable sharing, we'd love to hear whatever you've written.
Okay.
Exactly.
I'm kind of riding on that because, like, they give us topics, and it's also like, if I don't have anything that I know how to say, I can say these. This one's just called Too Much. I think I just made it the other day. It's pretty short. Too much in my head. I wouldn't rather be dead, but I can't focus. I just want to know where the secrets go so I can snatch them. But I just got too much potential in every direction, and I can't focus. I see people come alive. How have they begun? I see myself prefer to hide. How was I pre-undone? And it's over. That was it. That one describes me pretty good too, I'd say.
Well, just like the other one, I'd say it was very well written, Like,
oh, definitely.
It's very, I don't know how else to describe it other than because it's your own personal experience.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. Like, anything I write is just me. I can't claim it to be good writing or anything else except it's me. It's all my problems, man. I just can't seem to figure it out. Like, it should be so simple. It's like, either be yourself or don't. Either be yourself or shut the fuck up. But I can't do it, man. I can't do either one. I definitely can't shut the fuck up. That's my mom.
Easier said than done.
We have some more comments. May says, this is why the internet is a gift and a curse. Our parents could let their freak flag fly at 30,000 feet with their damn coworkers and never be afraid that their boss would find out anything, because the only way anyone knew what happened at their questionable parties was only provable by someone who was actually there. They had blackmail chicken. Richard says, it sounds like the best way to be in the art community is to just drop off your stuff and leave to do more stuff before people have time to say anything.
That is so true. That is so true.
And then May says again, pre-undone is a great description of stopping yourself from being yourself.
And that's precisely what I'm doing, May. I have fucked myself up. I'm not like my home life, Bexy, you know, I've talked about it. I didn't write journals, so I don't have every detailed fight or anything, but my mom and I, you know, have sometimes had, you know, an interesting relationship. Like she'd overreact sometimes, or I'd misunderstand things, or she wouldn't understand that I'm, you know, different because of autism or whatever. Like there was a lot of different things, but really I have a great home life. My mom is, you know, really great, you know, makes home cooked meals all the time. My dad works really hard. He's always been employed, live in a great house. Even forget that my mom and I have sometimes had issues. My life is great, but I'm fucked up, man. It doesn't matter if my life is great. I'm fucked up, completely fucked up. I did it to myself. This would not be a problem. I'd be an artist. Let's be honest. It doesn't matter what happened. But if I hadn't exposed myself to all that, you know, toilet porn, I'd be normal, and that'd be great because I wouldn't have to have some weird thing in my mind that's like, do I do this or do I not do this, or should I even think about this or not? Like it's like don't let you. I mean, they could trust me with the internet. It was just an honest mistake because of something that happened with a happy little friend who ended up being my babysitter. But it's okay. I just don't know how to deal with it because technically that's exactly what I should do, is to, you know, make their art about it. That's what artists do. But I know it won't be accepted, so I can't, and so I don't even do it for myself.
I mean, there's stranger things that people do on the internet, and there are communities for it, you know?
Exactly.
See,
it's all about finding your place in the right, you know, the right corner of the internet, I guess I should say.
There's the thing.
Yeah.
Because there's something out there for everybody.
Oh, there are. I know where all the corners are. I won't mention them on this podcast, but I know where every single corner is. I know every corner, and I know how they've progressed over time and how so many of them are like impossible to find the good stuff anymore. But I didn't say that. You didn't hear me say that. Anyway. Oh fuck, what was I gonna say? I told a joke when I was trying to say something. Fuck. It's like that. Oh, that was it. It's like you're talking about, you know, there's places for everybody, all these places. It's like, but that's the thing. I don't fit into one of those boxes. Like I have too many places. I like trains, I like birds, I like landscapes, cityscapes, I like so many different things that could be different kinds of art. But I want it all attached to my name. And I get that maybe, you know, maybe I should have that's, you know, a pseudonym for some of it, maybe. But I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to separating your soul into pieces to grow it separately wouldn't feel right. I want it all to somehow be in my fantasy land. It's all attached to me right now, and I'm famous and have more money than anybody needs to have. But my fantasy land isn't real because that's a reality beamed to me from some other universe. That's what I believe dreams are. They're realities of ourselves that we're intercepting from other universes. So in some other universe, I figured it out. But in this universe, nope.
You know what? That's fine. You know?
Oh, we have a question.
What's the question?
Well, we have two actually from May. Do you share your art with your parents or share what you see in toilet art with them?
Fuck no. Okay, but this brings up something. I didn't know I was going to say this, but my two earliest computers both died from, shall we say, malware, because somebody visited the places. This was before malware was kind of was you know, not as strong as it was, stronger than it is now. And so I fucked up some computers. So they, like, the thing is, they know. They saw it when I was little. I don't know if they still know, but I'm super secretive with everything. I have to hide it all. See, that's the thing. I'm a secretive person that wants to be seen by everybody. It doesn't make sense.
Honestly, DeVerne, like I've gone through a similar thing when I was a kid, actually. I knew what sex was from a very, very young age. Like, I just kind of knew. And I will say that it's kind of done a similar thing to me. You could say I have a perverted mind. I keep to myself about that type of shit. Like you said, there's no way I'm telling my parents or showing them any of my art,
Just
But
no, yeah.
It's like
yeah,
this
like
place here, this is a safe place, but even so, there are things, and it's perfectly okay that there are parts of yourself that you don't want certain people to see.
But yet I want the whole
Exactly.
world to see it, just not them. Like that doesn't make sense. But that's what my mind says. And see, I thought you were going to say something else. I want to hear you.
Oh, I
Or-
just wanted to say, I have those type of things too. It is definitely, I would say, impacted my life greatly because what I think about the majority of day is that kink, those kinks, and
Me too.
I just wanted to let you know that I'm going through a similar thing, and there's no need to be ashamed, my dude.
I'm glad.
I've
No,
gone through a similar thing with you.
There's absolutely no reason to be ashamed. We don't shame on this show for any reason whatsoever.
I'd reach through and hug you, Steve, but there's Omicron, and also these are computers, so I can't do that. It's not a cartoon. Otherwise, I would hug you.
Digital hug, it's fine.
Yes,
It'll
you
work
can
out.
see. You can see I'm doing the thing.
Doing the thing, yes, hug you.
Here,
Works out
I'll hug
perfectly.
the baby Yoda in place of you.
It's
Yes.
Yoda. Hello, Yoda. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that. See, it's nice to know it's not just me. I mean, I hope that you all end up figuring out how to deal with it, which I'm hoping I figure out for myself. I know how you feel. It's not. It's weird because it warps your feelings about all of that kind of stuff because we're all human beings. We're sexual things,
Exactly.
creatures. But it warps how we feel about it. It's like. And it's strange. So it's nice to know it's not just me, even though I don't want anybody to be like that.
Right. But it helps to know that you're not alone. And I really get that because for me, it causes me a great deal of shame and guilt, So telling someone who's going through a similar thing, even though I have only ever told one person that, or like two people that, it helps to know that you're not alone in something like that because I've definitely felt alone in it. So honestly, you bringing it up made me a bit more brave.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad I can make you feel brave because the more you bottle that up inside, the harder that gets to deal with. So I'm glad that you were able to let it go, so to speak.
I mean, honestly, DeVerne, you're being extremely brave talking about all of these things that, maybe they may be a bit, uncomfortable for some people or whatnot, but
they're disturbing.
But you're owning it.
Me. I clearly no one should be like this. It's not okay. Maybe not nobody. Maybe it's technically a thing because everybody's got their own weird things. That's where the whole being exposed to it at 6 years old fucks you up because technically it's okay, but because it happened so early, it feels wrong. And so it's like, how do you understand? You can't. And it definitely, well, I think that's the best I can say about that, other than I'm glad that I was able to help you feel brave. That makes me happy. Wait, DeVerne's happy? What a shock.
Well, honestly though, like Betsy was saying,
DeVerne.
you're being very brave right now, and I commend that, dude.
Thank
you.
I mean, yeah, seriously, both of you. I have to say, both of you are extremely brave.
I just want to be able to make the art about it. That's all I want. And it shouldn't be a problem. It should be fine to be able to own it with your name and to be able to have a career and everything. I mean, women, I don't know if this is 100% true, but it feels like women or anybody on OnlyFans can own that they have an OnlyFans and still have a job. But I feel like I know that a lot of times what works for other people, the universe is like, nah, ain't gonna work for you, buddy. So I just know that it's not gonna go well if I do any of this art. And it's just like, but I have to, but I can't. So it's like, plus as it is, I don't have the talent enough to really create these things to the point that I want, even though I know I'm a good artist, but it's not what I want it to be. It's like, I want this and I don't know if you're the same way, see, I mean, maybe it's true. I want this thing where like you can make realism, but at the same time you can make unrealistic things in that world that look realistic, that are realistically built into that world, but they're not real. So you can have like that weird blend of stuff. But I'm not talented enough. I just won't go on to Skillshare and learn. This video is not sponsored by Skillshare.
This podcast episode is sponsored by Skillshare. Learn how to draw porn.
I really should, because I have seen so many things. You know, the weird thing is, and I should have known it at the start, was that the weirdest thing I saw, which I'm not going to say here, I could say it in chat, but I'm not going to, is should have disturbed me the most. And I was like, this is kind of cool. And it's like, that's the moment I should have realized, okay, my brain's broken. Step away from the computer, step away from the computer.
Oh,
Away.
I've got a similar thing. You know, it's like, you know, that's really fucked up. But
I kind of like it.
Exactly.
Yes,
it's like
I get it. I get it.
Like I know it's wrong, but I can't exactly put my finger on it, you know? It interests you in that way.
Oh, we have another comment.
Oh.
May says, I would say OnlyFans is a great space to find audiences. You know, there's a niche out there. Also, a pseudonym doesn't mean you're hiding a piece of your soul. This show has proven that. Sometimes you can truly bare your soul under anonymity, which I agree with.
Yeah, I guess that's true and everything. It's just like, for whatever, I don't know why. It's just because I guess here's the thing. It's the credit thing. Like, if my art really did change the way people perceive that whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it would just be like, I would want my name up in lights, you know. I would want that credit for liberating human beings to just in a completely different sense do the nasty without shame. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes. I just want that. I want that for the world. I genuinely want that for the world, because I see, you know, I guess beauty in things that others shouldn't, but I see it. I see, but because of that, I see what's wrong with society, and just like, it's not like it doesn't have to be a big deal for people like it is for my weird ass mind. It just needs to be that we can just, like, it shouldn't be that people have to go to this one forum that I know about called, well, no, I know this forum where people talk about like bathroom stuff, not in a fetish way. They just talk about it, and 99% of them will go on there and say, and it's completely anonymous. I don't even believe half of them are using their real names. They will say that it's so great to have this space to talk about it, you know, and just it's so taboo and all this stuff. It's like, I'm not campaigning for it to be on everybody's screen and just show every kid that when they're like 5. I'm just saying, like, it shouldn't be this thing that we all have to be afraid of. It's like, I heard this podcast on Spotify. Forget what the name of it was. They had poop was in the title, and it was like, apparently like in the Victorian days, like, outhouses had like 5 toilets in them. Like, it was a family event. And now we're here where it's like, nope. And I'm not saying it needs to get that personal. It's just like, we just need to be open-minded enough that people can admit that it happens. Like, but there should not legitimately be men out there that don't think it happens. That's my thing. And that's why I can't claim that my art could change that, but I just know that if I make it, it's possible that even saying it on this podcast will make me unemployable. I don't know. But it's like, I just feel like if I make that art, like, no one's gonna understand that. And like, I get art is not necessarily meant to be understood. It's just that making that kind of stuff, even if I make it in the best presentable way possible, that would probably fuck me over. It's like, I don't want to be fucked over like that. Not like that.
Well, I have to say something though. I think that your perspective on things and the way that you see the world, and even the things that people consider, you know, should be kept hush hush, and you see the beauty in all of that. I mean, when you talk about it, and I mean, even right now, it broadens perspectives of people who maybe didn't think about things like that. before, you know, and you're showing people that there can be beauty and grace and, you know, in things that they would consider dirty.
It's like a woman doesn't stop being beautiful just because she's going to the bathroom. She's beautiful 100% of the time. She always is, always will be. That's just how it is.
They're
And
human, but it's kind of like, what do they expect from them? You know, like
exactly.
they're humans.
Yes, but people,
They're not dolls.
Exactly, but people, especially men, for whatever reason, just think that's the opposite. And it's like, no, it's like, I don't understand why they would do that. It's just society has just made, like, there's so many things society should actually be making taboo, but they're not, and they won't. They pick the weirdest, most stupid things to do that to. And I know this is a weird thing. I did not, let me be 100% honest, this was not supposed to happen. I was not supposed to say all this, but I did anyway. I somehow said it, so I don't know what's going on right now. I'll probably regret it in the morning, but oh well. Anyway,
Okay.
yes.
I will probably regret it too, to be honest.
We'll
But-
regret it together, damn it.
Exactly. We will regret it together. But you had previously said like how like you see a picture in your head when it comes to the art and then not being able to do it. I totally understand that. Like I see a picture of what I want in my head, but I can't execute it. And then it's like, okay, you know, maybe I shouldn't draw until I kind of get a bit better, you
And it
know?
shouldn't make us so depressed, but it does, doesn't it?
Yeah, it definitely does. Especially when I got to keep hush hush about it.
Right. Exactly. Like you can't show somebody. You can't just start a YouTube channel and be like, "Hey guys, so here it is. Enjoy."
Yes.
It's like
Exactly.
it's no fault of our own. Like you and I didn't, like, we technically did it to ourselves, but we didn't at the same time. It's like it's just who we are. Even if we didn't get exposed to it, there's a likelihood based on how we reacted to it that's just who we were. It's like we shouldn't have to be hidden away. Like we should be. It's like this is the weird thing. Like I am not like trans, I am not any of that stuff, but I understand how they feel now. And it wasn't until just recently with this whole thing coming up, it's like, wait a minute, that's how they feel all the time about just being a person. And that's even worse. And I think about that all the time now. It's like, oh my God, oh God. Because you go back to when you're a kid and you just, you know, you throw around, oh, that's gay. Like, it's like, it doesn't matter. It's like, you don't even understand. And I was like, oh God, what was I doing? I understand how you feel, and I'm not even that. It's like, God, it's just like, oh my God, the world is just well, we could get off on that rant about how much of a dumpster fire this world is. It's never going to be good again. I can be honest with you on that. It's just, I don't know where I'm going now because I'm starting to snowball. I'm definitely negative, which I did. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in that mindset. I was listening to dark music before this podcast to make sure that I did not feel great. So here I am.
Oh.
That's what I do. I gotta listen to music. It's like, damn, what am I going to talk about now? Like I have stuff, like I have shyness. Like usually I'm really shy about this kind of stuff. Like usually the only way that you or, well, in the way Bexy ended up, I would just admit Bexy knows all this stuff. She knows more than what I've said. Bexy knows everything. It's like, ordinarily, the only way I could ever say it is text or through a phone. Like I could not physically, even through a screen, see the person. So I don't know how this is happening. Same.
I think it shows a lot of personal growth on your part that you're able to speak more openly about it and everything. You know, exactly. You and I have known each other for a while, and you know, yes, I know everything that you're talking about. And, you know, while when you confided all of that in me, I was just like, okay, you know?
But it's like, how can I do it? Like, how can I do it on a personal level and on a podcast level, but I keep running away from every goddamn Twitter I make?
I think you have this idea in your head that somehow Twitter is the medium that is going to make you famous.
It's how,
and
it's
then
a lot of
and
artists, Yeah.
Yes, I realize that. But, you know, I think it while it's a great platform to share and to get your stuff out there, you know, there are other ways as well.
I just don't think a gallery would ever fucking take any of that shit. They would not. There is no damn way. No.
Well, you know, you never know.
I would owe you.
I mean, I remember
that right now.
I mean, okay, so now is the time on the podcast when, you know, there are things that have happened in this world that I never thought that I would see happen. Like, I remember way back in the day when Tom Cruise and Katie Holmes had their baby and they had her first bowel movement bronzed. I never thought I'd hear about that in the news.
And see, it's like,
but it happened.
It's like, how can they do this, but I can't do me? It's like, it doesn't make sense because I would get in trouble, but they could do it. It's fine. If you're famous, you can do anything. But if you're me, no. If apparently people like because C understands me, so if it's like C and I, it's like apparently people like us can't like do what we're supposed to do, even though it's what we're supposed to do. But Zac Efron's stupid, like, and shouldn't that be seen as weird like that? It's your kid. It's a baby. It's a kid, and you just did that to like your. It's like, and I don't
child.
Like, I don't want to be judgmental because clearly I have spoken. I am not normal. It's just that it's like, see, this is my mind. It's constantly bouncing around. You got this track in my mind. You got the track that's like, keep seeing all the photographs on Instagram of the KC photographers that are fucking way better than me and always in the right spot. Or see the spots I always go in a different way than I want to photograph it.
That's the thing. You see everything in a different way than they do. And you can't keep, you know, thinking about, oh my gosh, this person got here first and did it better. You have an extremely unique eye and a unique view of the things that are going on in the world. And that's what you bring to the table.
And that's the problem. It doesn't get you an audience. The only way it matters is if people know. No one cares, man. I got Irene, I got you, I got some people on Instagram that regularly see my crap, but it's like only like 5 or 6 people. It's like shit. And then those people matter, obviously. It's just like
okay,
like,
you have a question.
What's the question?
Okay, May asks, there's some ambiguity going on here. Could you please elaborate on your vision of toilet art /porn?
Well, geez, this is going to get disgusting, but I will do it if after I said that she still wants that. I mean, I'll try.
Well, like we were saying, we can't exactly judge you. So if you're comfortable, go ahead and say it. If you're not, that's fine too.
Exactly.
I've gone this far, so I mean, because see, this is a pattern that I have with every person I ever tell, or anytime it comes up, I allude to it or I kind of say it, but I never get specific. And then it's that point where they really ask, and I'm like, okay, here's everything. And it's like these patterns that are not necessarily destructive, but some of them are. It's like, if I will but it's like patterns are so hard to break, man.
They can be.
But clearly we're not going against that grain right now because we're on it. Basically, I think I kind of, to a sense, described it. It's this idea, you know, women are, you know, they don't stop being beautiful just because, you know, they're doing what they do. You know, because it's like, here's my thing is like, you see them eating, like women eat salad all the time. That's all they ever eat practically. Salad and steaks sometimes. It's like, what do you think they're going to do? Just be little fairies and, oh, look at pixie dust. Woohoo. It's like, I know what happens. It's like, we all know. Well, not all of us. But, so like, it's like that. And I don't know how to present it because my perverted mind has gotten very stuck on the most what most people would view as the most disturbing part of it, which is the product itself. And it's like, which I think you all know what I mean when I say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, you know what I mean. Unfortunately. Anyway, it's like, because I've been exposed to all this for so long, first it was just the, you know, it was actually the taboo of it. It's like, oh wow, beautiful women really do this. And really this came from, I won't say her name, obviously. I'm not even going to make up a fake name. She was a friend, used to live next door. She was my babysitter once. She was 11, I was 6. And, you know, babysitters, you know, they sometimes take whoever they're babysitting into the bathroom. That's not unusual.
Right.
Didn't expect my brain to be like, my autistic brain to be like, wow. Like, she was the first woman that I've ever like seen the side of a, that was the first side butt that I ever seen, so to speak. and like, so obviously my mind is like thinking so many different things that it doesn't even understand. It can't possibly understand. So this is where I think my mind was just different to begin with. I already had that kind of thing built in a little too early. But as it goes, you know, she went to the bathroom. It was quiet. There was no fanfare about it. It just kind of happened. It was nothing, none of the things I'm desperately searching for now out of my disturbing mind. And so I ended up going home to Google. This is 1998. Nothing is restricted. Everything is wide open. And I typed in girls, you know, pooping, and that's when it happened. I saw a lot of different images. Some of them that I realized I should have found deeply disturbing, but I did not. I did not find them disturbing. And I think, honestly, probably should have gotten some help for that, but it is far too late for that because I'm 28 years old. There is no going back. I'm kind of fucked up for life anyway. Oh, God, this is weird. I can't believe I'm doing this on a podcast. It's really recorded. It's going to be on YouTube. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Anyway, so that
The thing for, sorry, go on.
No, what do you want to say?
I was going to say, the thing is, like, for me at least, as long as you're not hurting someone or like the person you're doing whatever with is consenting, I don't see a problem with it, you know?
Yeah. Me either. I mean, that's the whole thing. As long as it's a mutual thing.
It's just like the art side of it, though. Like, no one's gonna, like, you can't just explain your story in every post or explain it to every person that comes and sees it. No one's gonna understand that. It's like,
yeah.
And let's be honest, I don't fully understand it, because even if I was one of those people that just on a basic level understood that it happened and didn't judge people for it, that doesn't necessarily mean that I'd be like, oh yeah, that's my jam. And so it's like, I know I'm broken. It's just like, I just need to, I know I can't express it the way that I need to express it. And, you know, that's what happens on every single not Facebook. I'd never do it on Facebook. Fuck no. That's what happened on every Twitter. I would make tweets about it, or I would, you know, not like this, but kind of, I would just
allude to it a little more.
Allude to it, or just say that I'm kind of open about that stuff. And then what always happens is I get comfortable enough, or I just start to not be able to, it bubbles up to the point that I go to the wrong side of the tracks that I know is there, and I know exactly everybody that's there, and I follow them. And then before you know it, it's like, you know, I just bookmark everything, since you can bookmark. But then a certain point it comes to where it's like, okay, now I got to actually retweet it like a person because I deserve to. And then it's like, no, that's wrong. That's bad. Everybody can see it. I need to go away. And so this really should just be titled, DeVerne has a porn addiction and he doesn't know what to do because he needs to make art about it, but he can't, because it led him to see something that no one else understands, but he understands. And he needs to get it out to the people, but no one's going to understand it. And he's afraid of that because he needs to be employed for photography, which he loves. So he can't do anything. And good night, everybody, as Yakko Warner would say from the Animaniacs. Good night, everybody, when he says a joke.
It's at the end of the Looney Tunes. That's all, folks.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's hopefully I'm sure there's comments now, because geez, that was disturbing. I'm sure there's comments. I'm
actually the only comment so far is, okay, thank you for sharing. It's important to understand.
And that's from May.
And that's from May.
And that is, I know, I'm not going to say anything because I know what that's code for. And it's like, self-deprecation wants to say, I know what that's code for. It's like, okay, sir, please don't stand next to me on the street. Have a good day. I was holding up my hands with 2 thumbs up, by the way, just so y'all know. So yeah, this is where we're at. It's like I need to be able to express it, and I don't, even though logic states that I need a pseudonym for all of that. If it really has that effect on people, because I just like, no, I can't. It has to be me, but I want to be able to, like that, you know, writing said, I want to be able to be on the street and be employable. But, and like, you can't, that's why I understand why, I forget who said it now, was saying that have a pseudonym until you're rich enough or have enough money to not need to be employable. So that makes sense.
I think that was like, May.
May is smart. But it's like, it's at the same time, it's like, that's the problem, is that I'm secretive and I keep running from every part of myself, and I want to be the photographer, which I guess you could say is the vanilla side, but I don't want to like diss it like that. It's a good thing. And it's how I see things. So I want to be able to have both. I want to have my cake and eat it too, man. It's like, I don't know how it's going to work, but, and that's the problem, because I don't know, and I know how I think it'll go. So overthinking, overwhelmed, lack of confidence, shyness, depression.
So fun, right?
So that's my story. I'm sticking to it. That's not
welcome to DeVerne's wild, crazy ride.
Most of it is really that I love, I love trains. I love sloping hills, whether they're man-made, on-ramp and off-ramps. I love the way trucks look when they slide onto a highway on an on-ramp. I love safety barrels, safety cones, clouds when there's just so many different types and there's so many layers that you can feel like you can see a million miles into the sky. I love literally everything. And so much of this stuff would be marketable and be like that, but I just know this one thing that I desperately can't get rid of that needs to be there would take it all down. It's just like, what do I do? Because I can't even make the cloud thing anymore. I don't even want to draw. Like I drew a couple things. I drew something for my mom and dad for Christmas. I drew something for my art teacher, Selena, who is friends with me on Instagram, and she knows a lot of stuff because I was trying to make art. It's just like I just don't know what the right answer is. And I can't, like, obviously no one can give me the answer. It's like most of you give me the answer that I know is right, which is to be myself. But I know the voice in the back of my head that is my dad saying you need to be employable is right, because I don't want to end up on the street, or I don't want to live with them forever. And to be able to make half of this stuff, I need to be able to move out so I can just be able to make it. It's like, right. So I'm kind of in a tough spot here, rocking a hard place, man.
Yeah, and I'm looking through your Insta right now. Actually,
I deleted all of my art. It's gone from there.
No, I'm actually looking at your photographs and snapping a few more screenshots to drop into the art section of our Discord.
Please help my depression by following me on Instagram. DeVerne's Photography World. There are what are those old dashes? What are those old dashes called?
Underscore.
DeVerne underscore
photography underscore world. Yeah.
Yes, please go follow that if you don't want me to be depressed. Thank you and good night.
help give me the serotonin.
Yes.
Yes.
See, after just watching the Beatles documentary, your haircut, you just look like the Beatles, okay? You look like,
yeah.
I don't know if you're Paul or if you're George. You kind of look like a mix of both. Like you're just sitting over there being like, I'm Paul and George. Maybe a little bit of Ringo. I'm not even 9% of the Beatles.
I'm completely biased, but I just think he's completely awesome.
Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome too. This is the first time I ever met you, DeVerne, but you're an amazing person. I just want you to know that.
He
really is, and
I'm glad you said that.
He really is amazing. I've been friends with him for a while now, since before he even came on the podcast the first time. I mean, we met on Twitter and just kind of clicked. And
see, that was one of the good things about all of my Twitter leavings and stuff. I ended up coming across you through that,
we talk all the time about art, music, life. I mean, everything. If something's bothering one of us, we confide in each other, and it's just we have a wonderful friendship.
It's wonderful. I'm glad to have you, man. Glad to have you.
I'm really glad to have you too. My life would be so much. You bring so much brightness and color and perspective into my life. It's amazing. You've changed me and made me a better person, and I'm grateful for that.
I'm very glad to know that, because you deserve to be very happy. You deserve to know that you can be loved. It doesn't matter anything about you. You deserve all that. It doesn't matter what autoimmune crap you have. You deserve to be. I know.
So, speaking of my autoimmune crap, my hands are cold. I got to put my gloves on.
Oh, you would not like it up here right now. It was like the highest it was today was like 10 degrees, man. You would have
Oh my
hated it.
God.
You would have been
Gotta
you would
wear
have
the
been swallowed like
fingerless
a
gloves
potato. You would have been
with the
swallowed
toe
like
beans on them
yes.
because
Toe beans.
toe beans.
See, I want to do something really silly. I want to be like the mobster. Welcome to the family.
Yes.
You should totally take pictures of your cat's toe beans, DeVerne.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I try. You'd think it'd be easy, but my cat's she's got problems too. You see, when we found her, she was in all the cats were like sharing cages. She was in a really big cage all by herself. My mom has the credit of fixing her up, but she was really sick, and so my mom did everything to get her all happy.
She's a beautiful kitty. I shared a picture of her in the Discord too.
She's
one
wonderful.
that you took. Yeah.
I gotta see because I love cats.
Oh,
If there's
she's
anything
beautiful,
I love,
beautiful
cats.
kitty. I also put some of your I think I snagged cloud picture, train picture, some pictures of like the rolling hillsides and things like that you were talking about. The Blue Jays for sure I put in there.
Yeah.
You know, I want everybody to see that you have all of this talent, and you deserve the recognition.
I don't want to leave Kansas City, but I feel like it would be good if like we were like in the same room, because I think here's my thing. I need someone that fully understands me, like you, and I can't figure myself out. Like I need a manager, literally a manager. I don't know. I don't have money. I don't know what I pay you with, except like here, I'll buy us like Subway or whatever. But like I need. That's what I'm searching for. I think because I'm on my pure self. I'm not the answer. I need a group, even though I'm not looking to be in a band, even though my lyrics probably could make some good music. It could be like a heavy metal.
Well, we have some more comments.
Let's hear them.
May says, this is an important distinction. There is a difference between normalizing and fetishizing. If I saw a painting of a woman sitting on a toilet or a picture of the same, I would see the beauty they saw in that moment. I would look at that artist's name and probably remember it. I've seen Two Girls, One Cup many times and have never cared to know the name of the filmmaker.
I have desperately been searching for the actual video of that. All I can find are reactions, and it's so depressing.
And then she also says, normalizing seeing a woman on the toilet is awesome.
I'm glad you think that, May. And I think people would definitely remember me if they, if I did the other part, which is the more graphic side of it. That's like, because see, here's the thing. Here's the complicated thing. It's all tied together. It's like, it's both wanting to normalize that this is what that women are humans too, but it's also like I mean, it happened too soon. Of course, it's a kink now. It's like as soon as you start thinking about, that when you get to that time of your life, of course, the thing you can't stop thinking about just becomes that. It's just like, so it's weird. I did get some sort of a moment though. I had a girlfriend once. Oh man, that was fun. Yeah, she came over to right over there, and that was she she farted, and then magic happened, and it was wonderful magic. And see, a normal person would not say that, but when someone that's been broken by the internet definitely will. Because like, what else do I have to lose? No one knows who I am. It's like 99% likely, even if people search up my name, they're not going to search up they're not going to open this up and listen to it. Not the whole way, hopefully. I mean, just like, but it's like, it's just got to come out. It's like, because that's the sign that it's not 100% something that's part of what makes you know that it's, I don't want to say trauma, because look, there's people that have deep trauma because they need to, come out, or they have all these things, or someone beat them up as a kid or anything. But
right.
In some way, that's how you know it's trauma, because you're trying to tell everybody that will listen that you think for 5 seconds you're close to. And that kind of makes you close to them. But you're desperately searching for somebody to normalize it for you, even though you can't really justify that. And so it's like that's, and I don't know what the art would really be that's my initial thing. It's like, it's both that normalization, but of course it's a fetish. It's like, it's both, and both sides kind of need to be shown. It's like, how do you blend that? But like, yeah, so it's sort of I know I'm making 99% of my life harder than it should be, but that's beside the point. That's just who I am. See, your smile is like smile looks exactly like George Harrison's smile. I swear to God. Or is it, or wait, maybe it's John Lennon's. It's one of those two. Your smile's reminding me of one of those two. I know it is.
My haircut, my smile, man, I must look like a celebrity.
Just join a Beatles cover band and you'll be in it.
Yes.
You're a celebrity to me, always.
Yeah,
you are freaking amazing.
We're the three celebrities.
Yes.
I guess amigos, but celebrities, that's what we'll call it.
That works out.
It all works out. We can work it out, as the Beatles might say.
Oh, I think the two of you would just totally vibe on music and stuff together. You both have amazing taste in music, and both of you have shared music with me that has, made me be like, oh my God, how did I not know about this sooner?
Okay, so, see, in this case, add me on Instagram, because I get annoyed on my phone trying to share music. I'll only share it on desktop, like through Instagram or Facebook. So like that's the deal with that. I'm glad. Yeah, music is everything. Like, this is the thing. Like, I'm glad the fact that you said that, Bexy, is it's amazing, because it's like that's the whole thing. It's like, music is supposed to connect us. It's supposed to open us up. It's supposed to show us that art is freedom and that we are free in our minds, and it's supposed to make us, transport us to other worlds, while sometimes transport us, to some place that's like, you wrote that about me, even if you're writing about like alcohol, but you somehow managed to make the lyrics relatable to whatever I'm going through. It's like, it's not, even though the lyrics in the sounds are solid, it's really a fluid thing because of our brains. And so it's knowing that we are wild tastes, it's nice to know, Bexy, that we've influenced you in such we're helping your mind get high on music and high on life.
Yes.
That makes me happy, damn it. Makes me goddamn happy. I don't know what that noise was. I just made it. I'm getting too happy. I need to get depressed again, because that's how I talk about my shit. Okay, what else do I have? Do you want me to just so the viewers have more of my actual self to go on? Do you want me to? I can read another thing.
Oh, definitely. I would love to hear it if you want to share it.
I always want to share it, but I always got to I'm like a train, got to get permission from the dispatcher to get on the main line there. So here we go. My mind at easy. You told, this is interesting, because I must have been crazy when I wrote this. You told me that you'd give me a call. In this call, you said you'd explain the answers to all. When we talk, I can't even think, beating me over the head with too many thoughts. You tell me of all the past versions of myself. Yes, you tell me how I failed them all. You're my mind, and my mind ain't easy. You're my mind, and my mind ain't easy. Who you gonna be from yesterday? You said, now this next part, I just want to say that I am not suicidal. It was the only way to make this part work, okay? Just had to preface that. You said I'm trying to find the easiest path. You said smoking is the answer. I'm too self-aware to know I can't choose that path. I guess jumping is the answer. Once again, not going to do that. It just made sense. Yes, you tell me how I failed them all. You're my mind, and my mind ain't easy. You're my mind, and my mind ain't easy. Who you gonna be from yesterday? And that's it. Had to interrupt it there, because I forgot beforehand to talk about that one part and say that I am not gonna jump. It was literally, when you're writing something and there's a point where it's like, okay, I need something here. This doesn't really relate to me, but the only way this is gonna vibe and work is if I put it in. And so I had to put that in. It's just like, I would never do that. I'm too much of a scaredy cat to do that, even if I wanted to. I'm too afraid of heights for one thing. So it's not gonna fucking happen. Unless I can program myself into a drone and crash, that ain't gonna happen, kid. So I'm fine. I just wanted to write that because I think that's my mind. It's always that's the best way to explain it. It's always beating me over the head with all these thoughts and how I failed every version of myself that I thought I was going to be or could be or might be, or maybe I am in some other dimension or other reality. And so that's that. It's that one. Yeah.
Your brain is like your tormentor almost. That's what mine's like. Kind of like you. I'm not suicidal, maybe passively, but like, I mean, those thoughts always come to mind. Like, it's just my mind being a dick, being like,
God.
Hey, we should really like jump down the stairs with something around our throat. It's like,
shit.
no, we can't do that.
No, that's a no-go.
That's the
failure
thing,
to launch.
man.
You can't launch. Yeah.
And depression is such a bitch, and it lies, and it, you get these thoughts in your head, and it's like, maybe it would be a good idea if I swallowed this bottle of pills. And you're like, no, stop that. Don't do it.
Yeah, don't, please don't do that, Bexy. It's like,
no, I've been there, done that, changed my mind. Yeah, I have no intention of ever harming myself.
I'm glad both of you are alive because you're both wonderful human beings. I wish I could elaborate, but I'm better at texting. But I'm glad you both exist. I'm glad you're here listening to me. I'm glad I'm listening to you and hearing what you have to say. And I'm glad you're both alive. I'm glad you guys didn't listen to those thoughts. And like this is legit, like for me, and this is weird because like you would think, oh wow, it's so great that you don't feel bad, but that you're depressed.
No,
it's like
I mean that's not, it's not great, not feeling.
It's like
it's not only do you, when you have that numb feeling, it's awful because you know what it feels like to be happy, and you know what it feels like to be sad or angry, and you just don't feel anything, and that's a hell all in its own.
Because here's the truth, because that just helps you overthink more. I'm closing my eye because for whatever reason I touched it, and so it's watering, so I'm just closing it. So that's why it looks like that. It's like, oh shit, what was I saying? I lose my mind way too quickly. Shit, what'd you just say, Bexy?
Oh, it was, I was just talking about how people think that not feeling anything is good, but it's not.
No, it's worse because that makes you overthink even more, and it's just like, it makes you wonder, am I a human being? It's like I'm like a robot over here. It's the weirdest thing. It's like and that just makes you feel you invalidate yourself even more because you're like, I'm just a robot, And
definitely. Oh, go on.
No,
it's okay. Go on.
No, you go. Please go. I know what you're gonna say. Say it.
I was gonna say like, fuck. It just slipped my mind.
That you relate to it or something?
Well,
trying to think. I'm trying to like rack my brain. It was literally on the tip of my tongue. What we were talking about. I need a little bit of a refresher. Like my mind just kind of.
We were talking about being numb and how it's not good, and
because it makes you feel like a robot, like you're not a human being, and that just makes it worse. You feel more. You unvalidate yourself. You invalidate. That's the word. God damn it.
Invalidate.
You validate yourself even more than a normal person does, and you just feel more and more like a robot. It just it gets worse. That's what I was saying.
Okay, I remember what I was saying. What I was gonna say now. When I felt numb, I would say it was almost worse than being depressed, just because, like you were saying, you feel like a robot. It's like, for me at least, the thoughts of like, what the fuck is wrong with me? Why don't I feel any emotion? Do I need to watch something disturbing or view something disturbing to like stir up something? That type of thing. Or like, do I need to like hurt myself to cause a feeling? I would say it's almost 1,000 times worse, at least in my case, than actually feeling very low or very angry or something like that.
See, that's 100% true, and that's the ironic thing. It's like it's 1,000 times worse, but you're also not you're not feeling it. You're just processing that. You know, it's 1,000 times worse. It's like, well, what is this?
Exactly.
Like, I know exactly what you're saying. It's like, yeah, it's definitely worse. But at the same time, you feel like you got gypped. It's like, I want to feel as dark as I say I am, because I seem like I come around smiling all the time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm great. Yeah, I seem great, and I mostly am. That's there's the complicated thing. If you're numb, you're basically great, but you're also not great. It's like, how do you? It's yeah, it's that.
Exactly.
Mhm.
I would say for me, like, I've been getting pretty much better, but the static, as I like to call it, or numbness, it basically hasn't gone away. You know, it's just kind of there. And it's an everyday thing where I wake up and it's like, I look happy and I may sound happy, but internally, it's like there's just something I feel is the best way I could describe it is off.
Right.
Just something isn't right, you know?
It's like that thing in your mind, that cable that's supposed to connect, so it's all running, got cut off somehow, and you didn't choose for it to get cut, but it did.
Exactly. And it makes life, I don't know, just like blur by, like mixed together. You don't even feel human. I know in my case, I forget to do certain things. Like I'll forget to drink water, or I'll forget to eat, to the point where I haven't eaten all day, I haven't drank all day, and I've almost I have passed out because I forgot to drink water. Yeah.
That's scary.
So yeah, the numb can cause quite a few complications, you know, not just mentally, but physically, because you don't feel human. So you kind of go about life like you aren't one.
It's like, exactly. It's like, and I had COVID at the beginning of last year. It was the most mild case. But even then, I'm sitting around like, I got chipped. I can't even get COVID right, damn it. It's like, that's what that is what being numb does to you. That's exactly, and that's what you were saying. Like, you just feel like you're not one. Like, it doesn't even matter if you got lucky, you still feel like you got gypped. I understand you 100%. The world is fucked up. And that's part of it. You know, now with social media, our darkness gets even stronger because, you know, the social media is feeding the darkness. It's creating darkness. All of this, you know, like
There's so much
negativity.
There's so much negativity and hate on social media at times. I mean, it can be a very toxic place. And if you don't, you know, take special care to maintain your own mental health and everything like that, it can really get to you. It can get you down. And
can you guess what happened to me?
yeah, I know you don't mean for it to happen, but it gets to you, the criticisms and the nasty comments, and, you know, the all around misunderstanding of things, and people weighing in on subjects that, you know, they really don't understand per se, but they feel they need to have an opinion about.
It's like, and then you get to this whole point where it's like, there's all the misinformation about politics. There's the climate crisis. There's, oh wow, every time I drive somewhere, they're tearing up space for another fucking car wash. It's like, we have one 20 minutes away. We don't need all these, like, we need more trees, man. It's like, why do you think the hawks are around our neighborhoods more? It's because they have less space, you morons. It's not because it's cool. It's not because they just decided to grace you with their presence. They have less space. And it's just like, you see, the more trees I see cut down, even if they needed to come down for some reason, it just bothers me. It's like, you know, that I heard this information that the Arctic ice is melting from the bottom. They're tearing down the rainforest, you know, all this stuff. And then you realize, oh God, even if that never happens, the world is always changing. Even if humans did not cause the climate crisis to be the crisis, to become a crisis, it would still exist in a different form, because the climate was always shifting and changing. It was always going to do this. We ramped it up 1,000,000%. And it's just like, all of these things weigh you down. It's like, what's the point of, this is the other thing why I can't create. What's the point? the climate's going to fall apart. And even if it didn't, someday the sun will expand and explode. So what's the point of the universe, man? What's the point of anything? What's the point of this conversation? What's the point of any goddamn thing that's ever happened? All human history, all of the entire planet's history, one day will not exist when this planet turns to a cold rock again. And it's like, so why did it even happen? Why are we rushing around to the store to get some present for somebody? Why are we rushing around like, I get this picture, when it literally doesn't fucking matter? And all of this gets blown up by social media and then by all this QAnon crap and all of this extra fucking bullshit that exists. It doesn't matter what side you're on. Some things are just fucking wrong. It's like, what has happened to our society? And that on top of everything else that's wrong with me is in there. And it's like, I quit. Curtains, please just take me. I don't want to do it myself, but just take me. Knock on wood, I don't really want to go, but please, for the love of God, everything should be so simple. My dad has said this for years. He said two things. People are stupid, which he's not wrong. Not everybody, because clearly you two are smart. But he also says people overcomplicate life. Life is not complicated. People make it complicated. And now I realize that some people are in worse positions than others. So when I'm saying that, in some cases I'm saying, no matter, I don't know, I don't even care what political side anybody's on. I don't know. It's like the government does this to people. Society does this to people. It pigeonholes people. It pigeonholes races and all this stuff. And it's fine to know for our brains to subdivide things and to see race and to see sex and to see all this stuff, but we can't keep overcomplicating all of it. We just need to be alive and be human beings. And we need to stop destroying it. I believe that everything happens for a reason. So I believe humanity was supposed to evolve to the point that it is, but I believe that we were not supposed to stop evolving. The problem is money got involved. Before, science was, and all this like exploration was valued. That's why we even came up with coal and oil as a fuel source. But we could easily continue to evolve. But money has gotten into this, and political, no matter, again, right or wrong, both sides politicize every damn thing. And so nobody can think of the issue as just the fucking issue, because the nature of our country is that to get anything done, it has to become politicized, which feeds this troll of making nothing actually happen. And it's just like all of this is in my head, along with the fact that I overthink everything, which doesn't make that any better. I'm overwhelmed by all my art problems because I was exposed to all that toilet crap, literally. I got my lack of confidence. It's all this crap is all in here all the time, along with everything that I love and hate and everything. And I can't fucking think. And that's why soda is so great, is like, it actually numbs you. And I get worried that I'll lose all my thoughts if I do it. But I know it's like, oh, yeah, I gotta drink this. I need to be calm for 5 seconds. Probably I'm eating this dumb thing. It's Tootsie Pop. It's the cherry one. For those of you listening at home, which is technically So anyway, that was probably the deepest point of my soul that you could get, more than the poop crap. It's like, I am just disturbed by the fact that nothing is permanent. It's like Rush was right when they wrote that song. Change is unpermanent, nothing, that's the whole definition of change, is that it's always changing. I don't like that. And I think about all these times where I could, like, if I had figured out that I liked photography sooner, there's so many things I could have captured that have either subtly changed or majorly changed, or maybe I will never get an opportunity to see again. And all of this just fucking drives me insane.
And
I want to capture it all in my art, but I'm too fucking broken to do that. Because there's too much of it. There's too much. I have too many things I want to focus on in art. So I can't do any, because I'll think I should be doing the other one. So I don't do anything.
It's a confusing place to be in your own mind sometimes, isn't it?
My mind is a fucking disaster. I should just become a janitor and just be like, okay, here we go. This is my life. Fuck it. Fuck.
I like to call it a flesh prison. That's what it is for me. Like,
yeah, you're right. It's a flesh prison. Here's the funny thing. I'm not religious at all, but I understand the whole concept of the biting the apple thing, because it's like, we know, it's like, and I'm not against science or any knowledge, but I've finally understood it because we have it all at our fingertips and all the misinformation. It's like too much knowledge is both power and it's also crippling because we know too much. And so, of course, we're depressed. We know everything that's practically going to happen. We know how the universe is going to end before it ends. And even though that's billions of years from now, maybe even longer, it's like we know it's going to happen. So it's like, and life isn't like Futurama. All the planets are not connected, and there's not life forms everywhere that we know of that we can reach. So it's not like we can just take our art and all of our stuff and preserve ourselves somewhere else. And even if we could, that place would be gone too someday. So it's like, what is the honest to God point of any goddamn thing?
Mhm.
And that is why I'm depressed, kids.
Something that kind of helps me, like with that, it's
Weed.
more that's too, but also the thought process of like you're saying, change. You know, for me, it's kind of almost like life or death in the situation. Like it feels super huge for no reason, even though it's not.
Yeah.
But something that helps me with these things like climate change, political instability, things like that, is the thought of even after we're gone, things are just going to continue, you know? The
That's
world's going to do what the world's going to do. And even if we die off, the earth, she will still continue to survive. She will still continue to do what she's doing until, like you said, the sun explodes and eats our planet, you know?
I just want to believe that scientists are going to figure out how to fix the sun so it doesn't do that. I just want
that
them
would
to.
be interesting.
I know they can't, but I want them to. I'm sorry, I interrupted you. My mind's going
For
miles a minute.
for me, I would like look at like planets that are like almost close to ours, you know, for that type of thing. Obviously, we can't really get to them yet because they're literally light years away.
Right.
But it would be very interesting to be able to go one of those places and see, you know, just how similar it could be to our Earth and what processes are going through that too. You know how our Earth, it fossilizes things,
Yeah.
it recycles things, it balances itself out if something goes out of whack. You know, what's going on in like other planets? Like, is that happening? Is there something alive there? Are there fossilized things? Are there rocks that we could study? It fascinates me, and it is a constant thing on my mind too, but I find it helps me when it comes to like life and things like that. Just remembering that this is the natural thing of how things are supposed to be. And we can't exactly stop that. You know, we can try our best to, and we can definitely, you know, postpone certain things, you know, like climate change. But like you said, we kind of push it to a point where it's getting a little bit too much, you
Right.
know? Like things are like really changing. Again, for me, something that keeps me from not feeling depressed about that is just the simple fact of, like I was saying, the earth goes through these things. There have been periods of time where there was no ice at the Arctic, you know? Obviously, I don't want that to happen because
Right.
we want our polar bears, we want our penguins, you know? We want life to be stable in these habitats, you
But
know?
isn't the mind fuck? Isn't that the actual mind fuck? Like all the things that are so special to us that feel so permanent also
Aren't.
just exist, and also naturally someday technically in the order of things shouldn't exist at a certain point. And that's what just doesn't make. How do you, when you realize that even though we're technically messing things up, we're just technically actually speeding it up? It's like, what a mind fuck is that, you know? And I like you're
Maybe.
right. I like your idea. It's just like, man, it's going to take some willpower for me to implement that, though. Because damn, I don't know.
Maybe Robert Frost said it best. Nature's first grain is gold, her hardest hue to hold. Her early leaf's a flower, but only so an hour. Then leaf subsides to leaf, so Eden sank to grief, and dawn goes down today. Nothing gold can stay.
And see, that's what fucks me up, because something so profound like that should exist in the universe forever. But logically, based on the universe that he was able to create that in, about the universe, means that it can't exist forever, whether it's preserved for all of humanity or not. And see, it's like that's what I can't get out of that loop. There is no I want to implement your ideas, but like it's like I don't know if I can. It's like shit.
It takes a bit of a brain blast because
Jim,
I do a similar yes. That's exactly what I was thinking about. But like you're saying, like change, you know, things that we view as permanent, like the animals that live around us, you know, we view that as permanent, but really they were just here for a fraction of the Earth's history, you know. And the thing that keeps me a bit like, no, when it comes to animals, I get really depressed about their extinction.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, it's like once something goes extinct, something else will take its place because that niche is open.
Right.
You know, it will be replaced, except by something else, by another species. And the habitats and the environments will change just like that too. And it's a sad thing of you have to adapt or die.
And that's why I'm so desperate with this camera now. So I realize I should have been, photographing. And like someone like me that's a documenter in their heart, it's like, how have I not been documenting this whole time? Why did it take so long? But now it's like, it's got me in this rush where it's like, I need to get everywhere and I need to be perfect because time is now. And my mom and other people have tried to tell me that for my whole life. Because you're right. The most permanent things are only permanent to our perception because they're not really, they're right. They're just here based on evolution. And so far, because we don't really know how long it will take these things to evolve, and we've changed their evolution. So it's like, yeah, it's just, oh God. See, even the things you say, they're trying to make it better. It's like, nope, I'm sorry, I can't. I just can't. Rejected. Good, positive vibes rejected.
Okay.
It's okay.
We've got quite a few comments here. Yeah. So about 22 minutes ago or so, well, actually, let me start back here. 31 minutes ago, May says, "You're an awesome person, DeVerne. Thank you for sharing with us again." Also, toe beans. I think that was in reference to my gloves.
Yes, we were talking about that.
Yes. She also says, "Let's just stop normalizing sexualizing women and all they do," which I'm all for that. And she says, "Also, as a professional who's hired many people, nothing you have said says unreadable. Reads as unhireable. Speak your piece." Then she says, "I'm happy you are all here too. You are all essential. See, there is a disturbance in the force." She said, "I felt super stabby today, and I had to thank all my coworkers for their patience with me at the end of the day." And she says, "We need more trees."
Yes.
The point is that someday anything can happen, but your experience is now, and you are here for a reason right now. Don't give up. We're here too, right now, for and with you. And 8 minutes ago, she said, "You just spoke to all of our spiritual and physical mortality in 30 seconds. I love you for that, DeVerne. Sincerely."
That's lovely.
And she also says, "That's exactly it. See, humans will not kill the planet. They may kill their ability to live on our planet, but she will live on. And I'm kind of okay with that."
It's like, I want to be okay with that, but it's just like, my God, like our whole life is based on permanence, like homes and everything. That's why we've messed up the planet that we have. Every animal makes homes and destroys bits of it,
right?
Their own thing, but they do it on such a small scale. Ours is just so large that it's just kind of like,
And they paved paradise and put up a parking lot
because we go against the whole recycling part of the whole thing. Is the thing. But I love what I really want to skip over. I don't want to skip over what May said. That was, I don't even know how to explain it. That was just some of the nicest stuff. Like, thank you, May. And I want to ask you, since you mentioned the whole not being the employableness, if I made that art to that extent, you're telling me that I should realistically be employable. Like, even if you got so to speak, as worse as bad as it could get. Not like, you get the point. Like, you're saying that's okay. It's like, I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just like, I think it's because in speaking like this, I can just put myself out there better. It's like I'm a little more worried about the permanence of, ironically, of stuff, even though nothing's permanent. But May, you know how to compliment, because you made me pretty happy there. I'm a happy man. That was very awkward. Awkward as somebody says. Who's that person? May Elena. If you've watched her, Masay Elena. She's a YouTuber who streams video games. Like, I watched her for the Donkey Kong Country series that she did. She always says, whenever she does something that comes out awkward, she's like, awkward is awkward. So that's why
awkward is definitely awkward.
So that's why I said that, because it didn't come out the way I think I would want it to. But thank you, May. You're a lovely, lovely person, or as I tend to say these days, a lovely character. We're all lovely characters here. And we all paint happy little trees. They drop right out of our brush.
I love a happy little tree.
Everybody does. And happy little bushes, too. They're lovely. Happy little bushes. Yeah. Yes. Bexy knows me. That's why Bexy's laughing. Oh shit, this has been interesting so far. I did not expect to say half the crap I said. This is really interesting. It's not crap.
I didn't expect to find someone who I relate to on such a personal level, or even admit it.
Right.
Because it's shameful to me, it's just not something I will get into personally. Unless I have to, right, then I might.
It's like it's a confusing thing, but you don't need to be embarrassed or anything. It's not your fault, really. You're okay, because I'm talking to you right now. You're a person. We're people. We just, we got them crazy minds. That's all. We're still human beings. We still need everything.
Our brains are just a little bit of a wild card. Yeah, that's all it is.
Definitely. We're definitely the wild card.
There's nothing wrong with that, because you bring so much joy and brightness and just lovely things into the world. Both of you.
How do we do it with pride, though? Because I can't do it anymore. I tried. I gave all of myself on that 2018 Twitter, and then just as soon as someone made a subtweet about me because of, well, we won't get into that, but certain DMs of photographs, and suddenly I said there was a red flag, and she makes a subtweet, and I just burned the whole thing to the ground. And it's like, I've never been able to find a way to be fully myself online ever again, and then only ever make it worse by Twitters that fail.
That's one thing that I don't know how to answer completely for you.
Yeah, no one can give me the answer. That's the thing, because it's logically not something that you or anybody can answer. It's just like I always need people to help me. I'm autistic. I've always needed people, even though I'm more capable than I think the school system led me to believe, which that's a whole other conversation about how they separate us and everything just because we have differences. It's like they think they're doing it for our benefit, but they're making us worse. But it's like, I already need help with everything. I'm not naturally good at, like, if I can't figure out if my phone freezes and I can't figure out how to unfreeze it, Dad, who do I go to? Dad. If something's wrong with my computer and I can't understand it, I'm freaking out. Who do I go to? Dad. Everything. Him. My mom points it out, and I always try to shrug it off, or like say, yeah, shut up. But it's true. It's all true. And it's like I'm helpless. That's why I'm so desperate for this art and photography thing, because that's the only thing I can really do. That's all I can do. That's all I'm good at, man. Well, not in writing. Like, let's not pretend I'm not. I can own that. It's just like it's like no one gave me the answer, and it's like logically they can't give me that answer. But I don't want to pretend like I'm crying myself to sleep at night, because that's not what I do. I can't. I physically haven't been able to cry in years. Can't feel like that. But I'm practically drowning, man. Like I'm up here, like trying to like figure out how to get on land and crawl and then walk and stand up again. I can't do it, man. because it's that perverted side, even though I have, as I've described, the side of it that's purely innocent, that I want people to understand. That other side bubbles up to the surface no matter what. I can't not have it bubble up, even if and when I get an alternate account, it always blows up because it's too intense, and I see the intensity and I can't stare it in the face, even though it's me. It's all me. That's me all the time. This is, it's like, and again, even a therapist can't give you the answer to that. No one's going to give you the answer. No one can get, that's the thing. It doesn't matter if they give you the right advice that can help you. No one can actually give you the answer to you. You have to just be fearless. But I've always been fearful. You see, I'm always like that. Like the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh traumatized me. Maybe we can get into that so we have a new discussion. But it's a whole thing. But Piglet is probably the character I would relate to. I'm Piglet. I'm always scared. Actually, I did have that pulled up if you wanted to. I know what you're going to say. If you want to read it, please do. There it is. I do have it. Let me make it bigger. Maybe I'll read something else first, and then we'll get into that. I hope I'm not hogging the conversation too much.
You're doing just fine.
I'm just glad I'm staying on topic. The last time we were here, all I did was talk about photography. I don't know how, but I think I was too happy. That's why I listened to depressing music before this. It's like, I'm going to get my ass in the mood for this shit. I'm going to feel it. Oh yeah, this is a good one. I think I misconstrued my thoughts and said I was too lazy, when really the fact is that I'm too afraid to just be myself. But I'm just going to read it because I had no time to rewrite it. So, and I'm coincidentally too lazy to rewrite it. So I'll just read this. It's called I'm Too Lazy. I always said that I didn't belong here, and I have made it so. Too bad that won't make me rich. All the lessons I have learned are true, and they won't make me rich. People always try to tell me what's important. I always learn that after the lessons no longer matter. I've got the paper on my bed. I've got nothing in my head. The dreams no longer matter. My creativity is lost. The frontline infantry is the boss. It could return my passion, but it is too lazy. All my tricks are gone, and all the hands are played. I used to have the energy to connect, but now I'm too lazy. I failed at life, and I'll fade away in the ashes, unless my art ever comes alive. I no longer have the energy to bear my soul, even to myself. Now I'm too lazy. I have all the dreams, but none of the follow-through. My lifeblood is through. The dreams no longer matter. I'm too lazy. I just want to sleep and eat, because I'm too lazy. I let the bullies steal my soul. The comments, they scared me. The spiral of silence contains me. Social isolation says, fear me. I've lost my soul. I'm the only one that can find it, but I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy now. And that's that one. And that's really it. All the hands have been played, on Twitter. All the people that I knew that would follow me off the top of the head and like my stuff for one reason or another, even if it was just like, and I get Twitter's not the end all be all. I get that. But what I'm saying is all the people that on the line that don't know me personally, that could help me grow, that I know of, all those hands have been played and they failed, and that's it, just done. So that's that. You can see a theme. They all basically say the same goddamn thing, just in different ways.
But that's okay if they say the same thing, because it's you speaking. You're writing from your heart, and it doesn't matter if you write on the same subject over and over and the words come out different, but it's still the same subject matter. It doesn't matter because it's your words.
Exactly.
And that's
it's your experience.
I really want to meet some musicians and just say, look, I have lyrics. If we can, I'll let you kind of figure, as long as I think it's right, I'll let you figure out how to play it and sing it. Just let me approve it. Let me work with you on that. But let me just be the writer, because I can't sing. I tried playing the guitar. I need to practice. But I need like that. I know that I could So if I could find the right person, I could sell those lyrics for some goddamn good money. I fucking know that shit. Like, see, this is me being slightly confident. It's just like I don't know the people. Like, you need ins. You need people that get you in the door. I don't know where the fucking doors are. I've always said this, and I'll say it again to you people because you haven't heard it. When I was little, we go to Nana's house. We'd play cards. Well, I would try. My dad would, sit next to me. I'd see all the cards there. I wouldn't see the hand I had to play. There'd usually be more than one hand. There'd be so many options. I wouldn't see it. You could give me all the cards in the world, theoretically, to play those hands in reality here, and I wouldn't know how to play my hand if it fucking bit me in the ass. I can't figure out how to play my hands, man. And I just I know I need people, but I also know what happened to Bob Ross. The Kowalskis fucked him over, and so I know that that's not always the best option, but for me, it might be the only option is to fuck myself over with that because I need someone to help me get out there in the first fucking place. So I was actually kind of serious, like Bexley, man, move over to my town and let's figure this shit out, please. Fuck.
May make some good points. She says, take this time on this plane as a lesson in impermanence. The only constants we have right now are change and impermanence. Also, know your audience and the ever-changing terms and conditions of your platform. Also, it's super cheap to purchase your own website and host your own server as long as what you're doing is legal. You can host it.
Yeah, see, that's
no kids and nobody in a coma, obviously. Consent matters.
Yeah, I would never do any that stuff. That's I don't even want to say those words because I don't want the police to knock down the door. Because that's how
I call them kitty diddlers. No one likes kitty diddlers.
Exactly.
It's like, see, that's the thing. That's the actual line. That's the line where it's like, that's not poor me. That's a fucking problem, dude. Like there is an act. I do have, just so everybody knows, I do have a line in it. That's the line. I'm not that far gone, and hopefully never will be. I don't think I will. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy.
I don't believe you will ever be that far gone. I've known you too long, and I know you well enough to know that no, that's not you at all.
So yeah, I'm glad you know that. It's just like I think that was just some of my own doubt coming through because I know. I mean, well, if anybody that would be, no, that's fine. No, I'll leave that where it was. I think that was good. I know what I would say would mean to me, but that would have been misconstrued. I can't do that, so I'm not gonna say it.
That's all right.
Self-editing is important. Oh. I don't know why I laughed like that. I don't know what that was. Oh my god. Oh shit. Oh god. What am I saying? Anyway, yeah. So as I talk into my Tootsie Pop microphone, I am a fucked up little person, children's. Remember Chef from South Park and how he says children's instead of children? What's up, children?
Children's?
Yeah.
But you know what? You're in the fucked up club, You've got us to be here with you.
I'm glad.
I was gonna say, club. I don't think there's a person on this planet, honestly, that isn't fucked up in some way. Just being honest. We all have our difficulties. We all have our struggles. You never know what someone else is going through in life. And, for me as a person, I try to be understanding of everybody. There are always going to be things, i.e. to borrow C's phrase, like kitty diddlers that I will never understand.
Right. You can't
and I will never tolerate, because that's just messed up.
I mean, that's generally what makes, people like C and I become who we are. I think for me personally, that's not what happened, but in a lot of cases, that's how that starts. So like that's a genuine sickness. Like, yeah. So yeah, and that I understand why no one could understand that. So,
yeah. I mean,
even people who kill other people, see those type of people as kind of like the worst of the worst. Yeah, like
right.
Out of everyone, they're kind of like, to say this in the nicest way possible, they're kind of like the lowest of the low on the order of
the pecking order.
People, yeah, like especially in prison, they don't take too kindly to that type of thing.
It's like, that's the funny thing. Like you're all in there for like horrible stuff, but that's the thing where it's like they're all gonna beat your fucking ass if you say that shit.
Exactly. In meme language, professionals have standards.
Damn straight. Even criminals have some standards. It's probably been made as a movie before because everything's been done, but that was such a great movie. Even criminals have standards. Come see in this movie that is a title that I haven't come up with in my mind yet. So the only other, it's just the only other thing I have to read. I tried to find, but I think I'd written a whole bunch of crap for the first time that I never said, but couldn't find it. I tried. The only thing I have here is how Winnie the Pooh ended up traumatizing me. That's probably just a lighthearted thing to make everybody laugh, even though it was serious for me. Probably the last time I actually really cried.
Oh, goodness.
Ironic, huh? Winnie the Pooh, yeah.
Also, that's...
What? Say it.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you say it. I wasn't going to say anything that was fun. Good, just say it.
Oh, I was going to say, Winnie the Pooh is not exactly something that you would think of as being traumatizing.
It's not him though. It's not.
No, I know what it is. You and I have talked about this before.
Oh shit!
So.
Yeah, I keep forgetting. You know everything. Yeah, she's. If y'all need information, y'all listen. I don't even care at this point. Y'all just privately go to Bexy if you know her. She'll tell you everything. She's the Oracle of DeVerne, basically.
Well, no. See, I would never divulge information without your permission or whatnot.
Oh, I know. But yeah, you're the damn Oracle. I told you every damn thing, that's for sure. But an interesting thing, I don't have to do it for C. C's just hearing it all right now. It's like it's all popping out on the damn podcast, which again, did not see that one coming. But yeah, it's not. I know Winnie the Pooh, when you hear that at first, it's like, huh, how the fuck did that traumatize a guy? The bear's just this nice little well-meaning stuff thing that maybe isn't in some British kid's mind.
That loves honey.
Right. And you see, it's that loving honey, that's where the trauma comes from. It's not the honey itself though. You already see where it's coming. I can see your gears turn. It's the bees. Mm-hmm. I'm not afraid of bees in real life. I don't like bumblebees. I call them bumblefuckers because they're too big. Honeybees, I'm fine with. Literally, I save the bees. Fucking please do. Please, somebody.
Oh, yeah. Definitely save the bees. I found one in my house the other day, and instead of... It was just crawling on the floor, so I scooped him up on some paper and set him outside and put a little cap full of some sugar water out there for him to drink, and he got his strength back and flew off. So
I'm glad you did that.
Aww. Oh, I will say, DeVerne, I am definitely scared of bees in real life. Like, I've said this before, but I had a hive of wasps dropped on me when I was like 4 or 5 years old. And so just the very sound of like the buzzing sends me into like a fight, flight, freeze response, where I've learned to not run. I've learned to stay as still as humanly possible until it leaves me alone. But like you guys were saying, save the bees, Well, yeah. I don't want them all dead, but I am afraid of them.
The noise I think is what bothers DeVerne as well. The noise of the cartoon bees, when he was, if I remember correctly, when you were watching the cartoon, and the noise of the bees was just something that was very unsettling to you.
It was. See, let me give you a tip. You're young enough. You probably have never seen The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh because it was never probably on TV. It was probably just coming off TV when you were born and you were too young because it went off the air in 2006. It's on Disney Plus. Don't watch it.
Okay.
I know there are 13 episodes. There are 13 episodes you can't watch because they involve that enough that it would traumatize you. Probably just the pictures of the hives would traumatize you. So please, for the love of God, I know I'm bringing this up, but please don't watch it. For the love of God, please don't do this to yourself because it's not going to be good.
You know what? I'll take your word for it. I won't watch it. just because you gave me that little warning about the bees.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm really glad you haven't seen it. So here's the story. It's the New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh, which was 1988 to 1991, in syndication until like 2006. Now it's on Disney Plus. But long before the world of streaming, and definitely long before the world of Disney Plus, was YouTube. It had just gone off the air, and even if it hadn't gone off the air, YouTube is where everybody illegally uploads everything.
Right, yes.
And so
that is definitely true.
Like, I used to love The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh as a kid, and the bees were one of the things I always remembered. But going back to it, it was in 2006, it went off the air. And of course, at the time, I wished it hadn't. And so I went to YouTube and I started typing in some of the names of the episodes. I even remember I left a comment requesting this particular episode to be uploaded illegally by this person that did it. And so here's like, I don't like, it's like, it teaches you like, you can't trust your mind, because it's like, I went from like, not either, I don't know if I loved the bees, but I wasn't spooked by them, to being like literally freaked out, like by their designs. Like, you would think like something that's made to look like, you know, adorable would be nice, but it just makes it more creepy. And they militarize them. Like, bees are not they're not like that. But it's because of the nature of the cartoon, and they have to be the villain, even though Pooh's going after to steal their crap, they become the villain. And I don't like that characterization. And it spiraled into the shape of the hives freaked me out. But first it was the buzzing. It's something, because it's not buzz, it's humming. It's like a humming that reverberates, and it's just I'm not going to mimic the noise. It's just like, it's just so.
I think we get what you're saying. Yeah.
If you've heard it, you've probably heard it in some cartoons that you've watched, because swarms of bees are some kind of weird ass fucking trope in animation that I don't understand, vilifying bees. So you've heard the noise. If you've heard it, just imagine it's worse on Winnie the Pooh. It really was. So this one episode was To Be or Not to Be, which has ruined that phrase by Shakespeare, because the B was written with two E's. So I completely hate that episode. That episode is what finally broke it. I rewatched that one, and that one was just the worst. Like, listen, bees cannot form shapes. They cannot form the shape of a baseball bat and hit other parts of them in a baseball shape across the sky to symbolize that they're dangerous. And so you want to know something? Especially now that I mentioned that, if baseball comes on and I hear that of the ball, I'm going to freak out a little bit, and I'm going to think of it. Sometimes when I'm driving and the sky is perfectly blue, I see them up there. And I start thinking of every episode that they're in and all those memories that I don't like, because of, it was always blue sky when the bees were showing up in those cartoons. It's like something about that buzzing it's like in B minor, like that chord in music, ironically B minor, but like stacked on top of itself. You know how they stack audio for stuff to make it so thick, and I don't like it. And it's just like, listen, we know birds fly in V shapes, right? Birds fly in V. Bees don't do that. But goddamn chance they get, that's how they fly in the cartoon, in a swarm, to attack these people. And that bothers me too, because sometimes for a while, it still happens now, I'm numb, but still sometimes I'll see birds flying in the sky and I'll think, oh God, I'm thinking of that. It's like, and none of that should fuck someone up, but goddamn. Oh, and I hate the term party pooper, because there was an episode with Winnie the Pooh, but Pooh was poo-per, party pooper, and Gopher is taking these larger-than-life sticks with gloves on the end of them to squeeze honey out of a hive. And that fucks me up, because now I see like tree trimmers, like those big tree trimmers, and it reminds me of that. For a while, the idea of putting on gloves freaked me out. Like, and in that one, what was unsettling was that they didn't add in the buzzing noise, the humming noise for those bees when they were chasing them. They were just silent. And that, even though I'm glad that noise wasn't there, because I was already freaked out enough as it is, Oh God, I can see it in my head. I should not have said any of this, but anyway, that was somehow more unsettling, and it's just like I don't know how that even happened because I remember those were episodes. It was on YouTube. I specifically was seeking them out because I remembered them. It's like I'm gonna watch that. Nope, no, I shouldn't have done that. Took a good memory that maybe was good because it was trying to make me not realize that I didn't like something that I didn't realize I didn't like. And now, oh, well, I'm completely fucked up about it. I didn't have bees dropped, I didn't have hornets or wasps or whatever they were dropped on me, but shit, might as well have because goddamn, I'm about as freaked out about it as you are. So please, for the love of God, don't watch that show. This has to have told you not to watch that show. If you heard what I just said, like you don't, please don't.
I won't. I will take your word for it.
It's going to be hard.
Admit, having seen quite a bit of Winnie the Pooh because I love Pooh Bear. The bee sounds in the show and in the cartoon itself are sort of unnatural sounding and just they're odd. They really are. So
when I was young, it 2006. I don't remember my age, but that really, really upset me. I don't know.
And I mean, if there's, if it's, oh hell, every thought I had just went out of my head.
It's okay.
It happens to me.
I was just gonna say, like, is the noise like what you would consider, or at least like what I like to call like uncanny valley? Like it's just unnatural.
It's like it's that, but it's also. That's unnatural, and it's also the association, but it's really that's unnatural because I know that's not how they're supposed to sound, and I think it's also because as a musical artistic person, it's one solid note that's being held too long, constantly repeating itself, and it's not that it's annoying; it's that it's creepy because no note should hold itself for that long. I don't even like songs that only like play G D E G like G D G G. GD, constantly, and don't have that like chord break where they go into like F and E or something to break it up. Like if it doesn't do a breakup, I can't, like that song, Birds Suddenly Appear When You Come Near. I can't listen to that. Not because it reminds me of the bees, but because it's like, it never has a point where those chords stop being going. It's too powerful. It doesn't go into a point where it changes to F to give you a break or something. And it's just like, fuck, man, like this shouldn't be a none of the things that I'm saying should be problems or exist. I shouldn't like toilet stuff. I shouldn't have been traumatized by bees on Winnie the Pooh for their noises. None of this should be in my head. I'm not, but yet I'm supposed to be me apparently because everything happens for a reason. But here I am. So fuck.
You are definitely you, and there's not much you can change about that.
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no.
Yeah. Honestly, you are you, and that is amazing. And you're great the way you are. I mean, I know you. I adore you. You're one of my favorite people. So
that's lovely to hear. Every time you say it, I love it. Love it. You can keep talking. You don't stop. Don't stop. Don't you dare stop. You keep going. I need it. Just boost that ego. Boost it up. I don't know how long that juice will run for, but you boost it up now. Come on now.
Seriously, I've always thought you were an amazing. I knew you were an amazing artist. I've seen a lot of your artwork. Then you started with the photography, and I was just blown away by that. And, then you shared some of your writings, and I'm like, my God, does this man get any more talented? Because
I just need someone to help me package it and like do the social media stuff so I can just do me. Like I need help.
Yeah.
I'm glad you think I'm talented. That's lovely to hear.
You are talented.
Oh, yeah, dude. Like
I just like I need to be some like if one of you could just suddenly morph into a talent agent and like help me out, that would be lovely. I would pay you in pizza or something. I don't know. Maybe I'd make drawings for you. I don't know.
Man, I wish I was a shapeshifter just so I can do that for you. Shapeshift into the form, boom, I'll help you. I don't know what the fuck I'm supposed to do, but I will help you.
I don't even know what I
Exactly.
need. I just know it needs to
Like,
happen. Like,
I mean, honestly, DeVerne, I'm at the point now where it's like, if you want me to be a talent agent for you, I wouldn't have any clue what to do. I've barely got my own work published, and I've only done that like twice. So,
well, Bex, let me put.
still freaking writing a book of poetry that's going to be going on forever. So,
But let me spin it to you like this, Bexy. Maybe we could, if you wanted to, we could figure out how to work together. You know, put like your art's just as important as mine is. You know.
Oh, I'm not diminishing my own contribution to, you know, the artistic world. I write what I write, and I write what I feel, and you know, I used to be ashamed of my writing, but not anymore. It's me. It's my soul put onto paper. So, you know, May has another comment here. You are you, DeVerne. Just own it. I pray that someday you'll see you the way we see you.
Oh, please keep doing that, because I need all the help I can get, May. I really do. Because I and that's the weird thing about being self-aware. It makes me sound cocky, but it's like I know that I'm worth it and everything. It's just like, how do I bottle it up in a way that people understand, that expresses me enough for myself so I can exist? You know, that's all I want. That's all I want. I just want this really huge thing. That's all I want.
Is that too much to ask for? No,
it's too much to ask for, because it really feels like it shouldn't be too much to ask for, damn it.
Right, it shouldn't be too much to ask for, but sometimes it can really feel like that.
You know, I'll echo what May said to you too, C. You know, you deserve to be every ounce of you. And everybody should just fucking take it. C is C, okay? God damn it. Let C be C.
Yes.
C is absolutely amazing.
Yes, I can tell. C is amazing.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'll
try to keep it in mind.
Yes, keep it in here somewhere.
Never forget, just text me and I will tell you again. Over and over again. I will pull an E and hire somebody to kick your butt until you believe how amazing you are.
You're gonna really hammer it into my mind.
Ezo talk. He knows what I've said. He has not hired one person to kick my ass, okay? And he knows
well, he hasn't felt you needed it yet.
Oh, come on. He knows I need it. He desperately knows. After this podcast, because I said that he's going to do it, I'm going to wake up, someone's going to be at my door, and I'm going to hate you, and I'm going to get my ass kicked.
Some dude's going
to just
bend
over.
You're
just going to go up.
Oh, God, that sounds so wrong. He's a great man, though. I'm not going to talk down on him. He is a wonderful creature. He's a wonderful character.
Oh, God.
You just wake up and someone's in your home just standing there like, I gotta give you an ass whooping. Yeah.
I'll be like Hank Hill. Actually, Hank Hill's the one always threatening to kick other people's ass. If it gets 1 degree hotter, I'm gonna kick your ass.
God, I love
Chiplet head. King of the Hill's the best. You're right, Bexley. Oh my God. I don't know what to do, man, because May is right. Everybody that talks to me is right. My dad's only not saying just be me because, you know, he's my father, so he has to be worried about me. But like, I can't break the cycle, man. I need to break it. Every time I'm too much of myself, I run from it. Like if I was doing this podcast myself, it probably would get deleted the next time I do something really weird. I'm like, oh crap. So like the fact that you guys did it is good because it won't get deleted. It's just there now. Maybe I show it to someone I'm trying to get employed by. I'm like, look, this is me. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry. This is
no. See, just be you, unapologetically.
I know. It's just like I don't know.
I say that, and I know it's so hard to do. I really know it's so hard because I've been in that place where I just shy away from everything, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't want to be me. Can I go off and live in some fantasy world where, you know, everything is perfect and
right?
but that place doesn't exist.
No, it doesn't. I know.
Only in my mind does that exist.
Yeah, in our minds, yes.
I know. I am a dreamer. I have my head in the clouds a lot, but I do try to keep my feet rooted on the ground. But I am prone to, flights of fancy and thinking of, things like, oh, what would happen if I finally finish this book of poetry and I get it published and it takes off and I become, someone, who has some kind of influence on the art world. And then I stop and I think, I am someone.
Right, God.
And while I may not have, influence on a lot of people, I have influenced a few people.
Oh, yes, you have.
For the better.
Oh, yeah.
And, I've had people tell me that, they're still here on this planet because of me. And that's a wonderful thing. Because
you paid it forward, because that's what happened to you. You got saved.
Yeah, exactly what happened to me. I'm still here because of some very kind people who reached out when I was at my lowest. And now I can help perpetuate a good cycle. Not a toxic one, not a bad one, not an abusive one, but hopefully, put some good back into the world.
It's just like the artist Aaron Blaise says, put some beauty back into the world.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
it
the way
needs it.
Yeah, and that's what you're doing, Bexy. Some horrible stuff has happened to you. I remember that podcast probably last season where you said some stuff that I was really shocked by that happened to you, and I was like, wow. I think I'm just not going to say because it's not my thing to say. It's just like the fact that you're still here and you're trying to make other people feel better and you have every reason to feel like crap. That's pretty amazing.
Well, that's the thing. I felt like crap for far too long about myself and about life, and I'm so glad I was pulled back from that edge, and that I don't feel that way about myself anymore. I have my ups and downs. It's not always perfect, but
right.
I'm always me. And that's the best thing that I've ever been in my life.
Well, that's the best thing anybody could ever say. That's the best thing I've been in my life is my goddamn self. And that's right, Bexy. I know I sound like a sports announcer, but I really do. You know how I feel about you. I talk to you all the time. You're magical. And I seem to tend to gravitate towards magical people because I realize I say that to a lot of people, but I always mean it genuinely. I know a lot of magical people. As many dark people as there are, there's so many magical human beings. You two and the not here now because his voice is gone. Are all magical human beings. Magical people. The people we need more of. The people whose voices are supposed to matter more than the darkness. The ones that we wish would be political, but unfortunately that would break them and then they would lose who they were. So, yes, but my God, you guys are wonderful characters. As Bob Ross might say, wonderful characters. Yes, Bob Ross might have been God for all I know. What a magic.
Bob Ross was a good one.
Yeah, God. What a wonderful man.
Very creative man.
Yes.
I just wonder sometimes, I ask myself, because he says anything you believe you can do, and I'm like, Bob Ross, would you even want me to do what I'm going to do? Because I don't think you'd want me to paint in your style and do some of the things I'm planning on wanting to do. I follow all the goddamn time.
Bob Ross might have said, DeVerne, you go make your happy little art and be yourself. I think that's what Bob Ross would tell you.
I'm just afraid that I'll become a starving artist because I won't be able to be employable. And I know May said that everything I've said doesn't mean that. It's just that on the surface, it sounds like it should mean that because the inspiration directly comes from taboo things and from the dark plate. Well, not dark, the wrong, I'll use quotes here, wrong side of the tracks of Reddit and of certain hubs and of various places. And it's sort of an addiction. Like I remember, like, I come, when I'm when my parents and I would go on vacations, across the country, we'd be on the road the whole time. This is also before phones, most of this, and before I really had one. And it's like, I'd be disconnected from it for so long, and I think I'd come home and I'd feel great, but I'd also come home and be like, well, time to see what I've missed. And it's equally funny as it is like kind of like messed up. It's like, and this girl didn't mean to do this to me, except sometimes I wonder, because one time she asked me to stand, like she actually had me not go in with her, but she closed the door and asked me to stand outside there while she was, doing her stuff. So sometimes I wonder if she wasn't like that too and sort of passed it on to me.
Maybe.
I think she, like, I'm careful not to say who she is because I don't want to mess her up. Her life is fine and she deserves to be herself. Because like I said, I don't think, as intentional as it may seem, I don't really think it was, because so many of the things we do are subconscious, or it's just we're trying to deal with our own self and we project it and pass it on to other people. That's just how humanity works. It's just and I know, like, this you're hearing, this is a rare moment where the entire earth has a chance to hear my true, honest to God personal thought process. It's constantly, and this might be some of the Asperger's too, which I know autism people don't want to think is a thing anymore, but it is, because I have it. God damn it! It's a spectrum for a reason. There's different kinds, and so I have Asperger's, and so repetition and hobbies and obsession, all that combines to make this mountain that I've become. And I just lost my point. Whoops. Back in 19.
It's okay.
I'm an old man now. Back in my day, let me go on an old rambly rant and forget what I was trying to say. God damn it.
If you call yourself an old man one more time, I'm going to come there and kick your butt.
Well, I think, I want to see you, Bexy, so please come in.
I know.
I can't.
Watch what I say. It's like when I told E I wasn't going to leave California without hugging him. Now he won't hug me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm probably happy for you to visit. We just got to be in the same space, girl. That's all that comes to. But I used to have this character I used to do in that voice. I used to call him a Johnny. I don't remember what the fuck I used to say in his voice, but I used to call him a Johnny, and I used to talk like this. God damn it. Yeah. Well, that happens. That's kind of how my grandpa says words. Like when he's like trying to emphasize something, he goes, yes. If I say that to my mom, she gets super pissed because they've had so many fights because he's old and he's set in his ways and mom is not. And yeah, so.
Now that you brought it up, you made me remember when I was younger, I would purposefully scream like an old man.
Really?
And I would do it so often that I would do it without even thinking about it. Like for example, if there was a bee, I would scream like an old man. And it's hilarious.
You're an old soul.
It was like that.
Okay, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Be a voice actor, because yes, please. Every person needs they'll come to you. That's for sure. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
What more?
I would do that. Like I don't know why, but you just kind of made me like that pop into my head. I think it's because you were talking about old man voices.
Yes, my Johnny. Yeah, make old my Johnny. Did you ever have a name for your old man?
No, I just did the screams. It was like I don't even know where they came from.
I have this picture of C running around as a little kid going, "Get off my lawn, you whippersnappers!"
My mom always tells me that I'm that person because I get mad when children run across my lawn, because back when I was young, all the children, we all knew each other and our houses came together, and so we all were in each other's everything. But now it's like I'm old. I'm a man technically. I'm a man child, but I'm a man. And so always, because I don't know you people. Like, why are you on my grass and why are you cutting? Like these people don't know where the line is. They're mowing the lawn. on the edge of my grass. It's like, stay on your side. I want to mow. I want my lawn to keep its virginity until I mow it down. God damn it. And I'm really like that. So yeah, I'm definitely more than that too. Like that.
Gonna take their chopping virginity.
Yeah, I want to mow the entire lawn. Like that's my thing. I love mowing the grass. I love lawn mowers, man. I love it when women mow the grass. I love everything.
You want to know a weird fact I learned about grass?
Tell us.
The smell that you get when you cut grass. I love the smell of fresh cut grass.
Me too.
So do
That's
I.
actually like
A defense mechanism. Yes.
It's a warning for the other blades that like you're about to get chopped down.
Oh, that's so fucked up.
Yes.
We're murderers.
Right?
Every vegetarian is mowing grass and they don't even realize that they're murderers too.
I remember learning that, and it's like, damn, they really evolved to try to like warn each other, and us humans just like the smell.
We're just like, no, let me sniff your dead corpses.
Yes, exactly.
That's literally humanity's shared kink. God damn it, I love the smell of dead grass. Fuck yeah. I love the way
I love it when
yes.
I love it when we mow the grass, my dogs go out and roll in it, and the white one will come in looking all green because he's rolled in fresh cut grass.
I mean, literally every animal, even humans, before we got, like we all crap in the grass. Like everything, all of the world's trash ends up in the grass. The grass feels like the worst thing in the world. Like the world is literally always spitting on the grass, even in its most natural state. The grass is lower than a mouse. The grass is lower than mice. Like, how is that? Like, come on, like, wow. That's just nuts. I think I found something I was looking for.
Oh yay! Because we've got
how much time we got?
We've got about 22 minutes.
Damn, this went by fast. It's like 3 hours.
Right?
Damn.
Yes, it has been. But this has been. I think this has been great, though.
Oh yeah, we really got everything out. So I guess 22 minutes. This is where we just fuck around. This is we kind of went past most people just fuck around, but it's fuck around times. It's like, yeah. So everybody get out your. Nope, not going to say that. Oh god.
Do a shit post on the at the final minutes of the podcast.
Oh, my correction. 18 minutes actually.
We have even less time than I thought. Everything's an illusion. Oh my god. Yes. So anyway, you've got the story now, the full story that I couldn't somehow get out so the first time. So instead I was just like, I photographed things, and yeah, I photograph, and I wish I could get out of the house. It's like, yeah, well, here's the whole damn story. The whole damn shebang. Whole kit and caboodle.
I'm glad you felt comfortable enough to share,
It just comes down.
Oh yeah, me too.
It just comes down to when I'm the most out of touch. That's when it can all spout out. Like I'm kind of out of it in a certain sense. I think maybe because I went out and photographed and it didn't go well and it was cold and freezing, and so my energy is zapped. So I'm like, I'm tired enough to be honest. Yay! Yeah. So, there's certain words that I don't like because of the whole bee thing too, but it's actually from a different show. You remember the Berenstain Bears?
Yes.
They had an animated TV show once.
Yes.
In the 80s, and there was a bee episode. I forget the main name, the characters' names, but I guess he'd been, the main adult bear had been stealing, honey or whatever. And there was like a carnival, and he was going to like hit the thing to show his strength, and it goes up and just bing, bing. And I guess the bees realized he was there, and so they were all coming out of the forest in droves, like more than is humanly possible. Now it wasn't like, this is the 80s. It was not deeply animated. It's like just like lines, like what they do.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of worse somehow. I don't know why. It's worse when it's unrealistic. But they all end up over there, and they're all over top of where he is, and they're going to come down. The structure that they were in is the other word that typically you can use gazebo or you can say the P word. I'm not going to say the word, but you know the word I'm talking about, the P with the double V's and the A and the I and all that stuff. I like to say gazebo because I don't like the other word, because the bee said that word as they were about to drop down. And then I realized this word is so confusing. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't understand it. And so I don't like that word. And I don't understand. Like, I want to be able to just say the word, but I'm not going to say the word. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody knows what the opposite of gazebo is, because they're basically the same thing, but it's like two different names. I like gazebo. I don't like the P version of it. I don't like that word. I just can't. I hate it. And I think that was just something intrinsic, but I just relate it to the bee thing because I know that episode the bee said it. So it's like, I'm scared of cartoon bees, so that makes sense. So anyway, I am all kinds of fucked up, but I like music. Oh, let's talk about music. Yeah, let's talk about music. Okay, see, one of the first things I have to do, you heard me read some of their lyrics, but you have to be introduced to the gospel of music, which is We Are Scientists.
Okay.
Silver-haired fox man. He's silver hair. He's had it for years, even in 2005. He's not really that old. And his name is Keith Murray, and you got Chris Kane, and then you have Keith Karn, who is the drummer. There was Michael Tapper, but he was the drummer before Keith Karn. The band has been around since 2000. Their first album is impossible to find, yet I have a copy of it. Thank you, Dad. He just happened to come across it somehow. And then they have like a whole bunch of EPs that you can't find, but their first breakout album was With Love and Squalor, came out in 2005. And my God, everything from there until now, just the best stuff ever. And I'll tell you what, the best song ever, and Bexy will tell you, I tell this to everybody because this is the song to go for. Find Buckle by We Are Scientists and just listen to it. Because here's the story. I found this, I was on YouTube, I was just finally, Tom Petty had died, David Bowie had died, and I'm like, all the people I used to love listening to are dying, so it's time for new music. And so I was listening to all new music. I come across, the Foo Fighters and 21 Pilots and all this stuff, and my mind started to open up. Like, all music is amazing. And so what happened was, I can't. At some point, I was looking for a song that I did not end up finding, because in my watch later, in my recommended was a song called Buckle, and I was like, that's a weird name for a song. We Are Scientists. That's a weird name for a band. And the thumbnail is Chris Kane like getting smashed with like food, and I was like, this is it. This is what I am definitely. I'm going to listen to this later, and it turns out to be like the best song ever. And I ended up just loving the entire band because of that. And I have all of their albums. So listen to We Are Scientists, kids. Listen to Buckle.
Okay. Well, I think we're at a good stopping point.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, thank you, DeVerne, for coming on the show. Thank you, everybody in the chat, for listening. As always, if you want to help support us, share the episodes, like the episodes. If you're still having trouble remembering when we are on, open up your calendar, set a reminder for, every Thursday.
Follow me on Instagram, God damn it.
Follow DeVerne on Instagram if you're on there.
Give him the serotonin.
The Discord for Am I Mental? We have stuff up there about the episodes. We have an art page. We have general chat. All kinds of great people are on there, and it's really a great place to be. You can go to amimental.net to check out episodes. You can also, on our webpage, find our donations page. If you want to, contribute a little bit, everything that we receive for the podcast goes directly back into the podcast, and it helps to keep us up and running. We also have merchandise. We have a Teespring store with a link on our webpage, which is completely awesome stuff. There's tote bags and masks and shirts and hoodies, and they're all really, really, really great stuff. I want to thank you all, for listening and for making this show what it is, because it really is because of you, our listeners, that we are still here and we still do this every week. I know it's been great for me tonight to play host for all of you, and I think I've had a great time tonight with C and with DeVerne, and I missed E. Don't tell him; it'll just inflate his ego. His head's already too big. So I think for now we are going to sign off. And so from Am I Mental, I'm Bexy.
I'm C.
And we will catch you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.